Good evening, everybody. Welcome in to another Varsity Media Sports Network live stream broadcast coming to you from Southside High School. It is opening weekend, Nassau County football. It is the Southside Cyclones hosting the Lawrence Tornadoes. I'm Ben Turchin for Varsity Media, joined alongside today by Mike Spina, former coach in Conference 3 and currently a coach in Conference 1 with the Massapequa Chiefs. Mike, today the number 2 seeded Southside Cyclones are hosting Lawrence, an 8 seed. And for Lawrence, this is the first time since 2006 that we will not call a Frederick brother on this team.
I don't miss seeing any of those Fredericks boys. And I'll tell you, what a little bit of a role reversal this year. Southside being the 2 seed, Lawrence being the 8 seed. It's been a long time since Southside wasn't seeded in the top 2 or 3, not even in the top 4, the 2 or 3. And Southside's program has been building under Coach Ernesto for the last 5-6 years, as he is a 9th-year head coach. And I've had the pleasure to coach against him, and he's just been building, and he's looking for a run this year.
Absolutely. They had the 11 seed last year, but they were able to make it to the semifinals the first time they've been to Hofstra in a really long time, since 2001. So Ernesto has this program going in the right direction. We do have some late breaking news to tell you about, especially if you're a Southside Cyclone fan. A little bit of some upsetting news. Their star quarterback, William Pickett, the senior, who is expected to have a very big season this year, coach's decision, Mike, will not play. Again, he will not play. So in his place, John Jude Casadine, who's a junior, started 2 years at the JV level, but this is his first start ever. What's that going to be like for this team that lost their starting quarterback?
Listen, it's the next man up philosophy. You know, he started for 2 years on a JV. He knows the offense. He'll have no hesitation with any of the play call, and the coaches have a lot of confidence in him. He's gotten his reps over the last 3 weeks in his game scrimmage last week. So Southside will be fine. They're a solid team. They're a senior-laden team, and they're ready to play.
Another note on the Lawrence Golden Tornadoes, who come in today as an 8 seed. Mike, you had mentioned it's been a really long time since Lawrence has been this low seeding-wise, and a lot of different new things for Lawrence. Coach Joe Martellotti, who was there for 9 years, won 2 Long Island championships with Lawrence. He departs as the head coach. Jay Supple takes over, who was the defensive coordinator under Joe Martellotti. Now he takes over as head coach, and he'll switch from the defensive coordinator. He'll call the plays offensively. But he has told me that even though he's the head coach, you don't see a Fredericks, it's pretty much, they look at it as status quo. Nothing has changed, really. Do you believe that, or do you think we're going to see a new era of Lawrence football?
I think you'll see a little bit of a new era, but listen, Lawrence is Lawrence. They got a great tradition over there. They still have their youth programs and getting guys from the Inwood Buccaneers and stuff like that. And Coach Supple comes from a great family and a great football family, and he's been spent a lot of years under Coach Martellotti. They'll be fine. They got athletes. You look at their roster, they have athletes.
So here we go, moments away from kickoff. The 6 o'clock start today means that this game is the first game to kick off in Nassau County for the 2019 football season, and we're really excited to bring it to you here. Varsity Media, we appreciate you tuning in to our live stream broadcast. We'll have plenty of streams coming out throughout the course of the season, so stick with us on this YouTube channel, youtube.com/Varsity Media, and make sure you hit that bell for updates. So here we go, Lawrence to kick things away, and we are underway here. That is fielded by the Cyclones at the 25-yard line with some room to run up the middle. That is number 11, T.J. Mahar, the sophomore, who will start on defense for the Cyclones, but they're on special teams, Mike, with a nice little return. Southside starting on their own 42.
Listen, special teams is still 1/3 of every game. You're starting at the 42-yard line. You know, the kick went down to about the 20. You look at, what's going to happen right now. You got a lot of options that you can do, starting at the 42 versus starting at the 10.
So as we mentioned a moment ago, it is not William Pickett today. Coach's decision will not play. Instead, it is John Jude Considine, the junior, number 2, at 5'9" and 145 pounds. And it's a quick give up the middle. Not much doing there. A host of Lawrence defenders taking him down. And that was carried by Xavier Brewster. Let's take a look at the Southside starting offense first today.
Looked like there was a little motion on that there. The 2 guys looked like they were going in motion. They tried a quick count. catch Lawrence by surprise.
Some names to look at: Richie Petrone, Xavier Brewster, and Nick Licalzi. Those three are the skill players for Phil Onesto's team. We'll have a lot to say about those three as the game progresses. On the shotgun, that's Licalzi, so he keeps it himself. And he's out for a Southside first down all the way into Lawrence territory, tripped up at the 38-yard line. That's a skill guy, finally wrestled down there by number 5 for Lawrence, but not before a first down. Aquan Walker on the tackle.
The key to that play right there was the block by Brewster. All right, they came out in a full spread, even set, 2-by-2, and he just made a great block.
Licalzi again is going to take the snaps, and Coach Onesto told us that you're going to see this a lot. He's got a lot of guys that can play a lot of different positions. Up the right side, breaking tackle, still on his feet, and finally taken down at about the 10-yard line, but another big hole and a big run by the senior.
Wow, he's a moose. He's 6'1", 210 pounds. He just ran right through the Lawrence defenders on that.
And if folks are watching today and they said, how did Southside get a 2 seed? And even Mike, you had said that they are not typically that high up in seeds coming into the season, but you see why. They've got a lot of senior leadership, and they've got a lot of skill guys, as both skill guys right now, both seniors are in the backfield, both captains. Licalzi again off the shotgun. He'll go on the left side this time. Has some running room. Diving in.
Touchdown.
Waiting for a signal. Touchdown. Nick Licalzi in for the score. And with 10:45 to go in the first quarter, Southside answers first, 6-0.
Well, that was a very impressive drive. Mixing in the Wildcat. Another great job by the wide receiver on that, Gilden Smith. Did a great job with his stork block. This is a solid team. This is a team that is needs to be reckoned with right now.
The offensive line had everything going there. And just what you would expect here, that's how they drew it up. TJ McNicholas will be on hand for the extra point. It's up and it's through. And our score here with 10:41 to go. It's Southside with the early lead, 7-0. As we'll take another look at that touchdown run. Let's see that again, Mike.
Watch this block on the outside right here.
Yeah, great block as he takes it around the left side for the score.
And that's what it's going to take. It's, I don't care how good your running backs are, how good your quarterback is. You need guys that are going to block, guys that are going to commit to making those blocks. And that on that drive, that's what you saw. You saw that with Smith. You saw that with Licalzi. You saw that with everybody.
Let's take a moment to welcome one of our sponsors for tonight's game, Press 195. Right here in the Rockville Center area, sponsoring our game tonight. Press 195, located at 22 North Park Avenue, Rockville Center, New York, right here in town. And they're giving away free French fries all weekend long. You can't beat that deal. All you have to do is screenshot this ad that's on your screen right now. Screenshot the ad on your phone. Head to Press 195 all weekend long, tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday, for free French fries all weekend long. Mike, all you have to do is screenshot that ad. Thank you to Press 195. Can't beat that deal.
No, I'll be there in about 2 hours. I haven't missed too many meals in my life.
Absolutely. McNichols are going to kick things away to Lawrence. We'll see them on offense for the first time. Deep back for them is Aquan Walker, number 5. And that will sail into the end zone. Nice kick.
Oh, that's a weapon. All right. The difference right now in special teams is Southside started with the ball at the 42. Lawrence is starting at the 20. If you don't think that special teams is 1/3 of the game, then you're not a football guy.
Field position is everything. So it'll be our first opportunity to take a look at Lawrence as let's see their starting offense. And we mentioned before at the top, Jack Abacassis. It's his first year as the quarterback here for the Lawrence Golden Tornadoes. He's number 6, the senior at 6'1". We'll mention Pat Cave's number a lot. He's a senior track guy, football guy. Aquan Walker is the only returning starter on offense. Him and David Manera, I should say, are the only 2 returners on this whole team, Mike.
Yeah.
It's a very young and inexperienced squad.
Yes, it is, and they're going to try to move Walker around a little bit.
Aquan Walker, remember that name. In the shotgun. Abacassis looking long. He's got a receiver. He's open. It's complete. That is complete. Walker taking it past Licalzi in for the touchdown on the very first play by the Cat Seniors. First throw of the season, and it's a touchdown, an 80-yard bomb.
Oh, what a great answer. Right away, they come out throwing the ball. Like I said, they have skill. They have speed. We're talking Lawrence. If anybody doesn't think that Lawrence is going to not come out with some skilled players, you're crazy. That's an awesome answer to a great drive by Southside. But you know what? You just got some life back on that sideline over there.
I think people are curious to see what kind of Lawrence team is this going to be. And you see the answer right away. Hey, we don't have a Fredericks, and we may not have our head coach from last year, but hey, we're still lethal. There's penetration on the snap. It was not blocked. It will go through. That's an unbelievable job by the kicker, Ozzie Canales, to get that one through, and we've got a tie game.
How that wasn't blocked, I don't know. They had penetration from the inside. They had penetration from the outside. Great job by him for keeping his concentration. So we're locked in at 7, and what are we, 3.5, 4 minutes in the game?
He beat Lecalzi with the speed, and we mentioned Aquan Walker. We'll talk about him all the time, and the wherewithal to get to the middle of the field where he had some extra space to beat his guy. 7-7's our score. We'll take a quick timeout. Back with an exciting game right after this on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Welcome back to Southside High School. Ben Turchin and Mike Spina alongside with you here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. If you just tuned in, it's 6:05. Hey, the game started 5 minutes ago. We got 2 scores already, Mike. This is an exciting game.
I'll tell you this. It's a lot more exciting than the Thursday night NFL games.
I agree with you on that. Very exciting. Those are snooze fests. Not the case here. Nassau County Conference 3, varsity football, 7-7, Southside, deep back to return. Once again, up the middle goes T.J. Mahar for a nice return out to the 35-yard line, and the Cyclones will take over on offense. Let's take this opportunity to show you the defense for the Lawrence Golden Tornadoes, as we'll put that on the screen right now. A lot of big athletes here, Mike. We'll mention a couple of names for you here. Here's a great story. David Manera, number 74, the senior defensive tackle. Coach Supple says he'll play all over the line, but he came in as a freshman at 360 pounds. He lost 80 pounds in 3 years to play both sides of on football, offense and defense on the lines. That's pretty good.
That's awesome. And you could see the shape he's in. Much better shape now. He's playing both ways. They're going to need him both ways. They don't have a big bench over there.
He's one of the team leaders for Lawrence. Considine, and it's an I formation. We haven't seen this yet today. You'll get a lot of looks from Phil Onesto's offense. Penetration in the backfield. Great job. Let's see, number 70. That time, Yuri Martinez got through, and he blew it all up.
Sure, they overloaded the defense to the tight end side. It looked like they slanted to the tight end side. I'm a little curious why they wouldn't come back with the wildcat or the spread after just going down the field in 5 or 6 plays. But who am I to second-guess anybody?
It's a loss of 1 on the play. I think it's the first time Southside has actually lost a yard here in the game. Early on in the first quarter, Ben Turchin and Mike Spina with you. Mike, they go right back to the Wildcat, spread with 5 receivers. It's Lecalzi in the shotgun.
Yep, they went to empty right now. You're going to see that there's nobody in the middle of the field.
Nobody there. Finally wrestled around by number 7, Hugo Ratana, but not before a first down for Southside and into Lawrence territory. Mike, how do you stop that if you're Jay Supple and the Tornadoes?
Well, you can't overload to the empty. You either have to have 5 or 6 in the box, maybe 7, and take your chances and let him beat you throwing the ball.
Once again, lined up in the same formation. And Nick will go right side this time. Met immediately by Michael Giordinello, and not much doing there. So give Lawrence credit defensively with the stop.
Yes, he made a nice play, Michael. He came inside out. He got down low. You know, Lecalzi's a big boy. He's not small. If you take him up high, he's going to either just give you a shiver or he's going to run you over.
Nick Lecalzi, number 33, committed to Navy for lacrosse as an 8th grader and is holding to that commitment to this day. Very impressive athlete, plays lacrosse, plays football, and you said it yourself, very big physical presence. Once again, left side, plenty of running room, and then wrestled down by number 42, Josiah Reed.
And you know what? The timing on that was thrown off because the snap was on the ground. Lucchese did a great job scooping that and getting 9 yards out of nothing.
How about Josiah Reed for a second, number 42, the defensive end, one of the captains of this team. Big, strong, fast kid, looks the part. Supple really likes him on the line. He'll move around. Just look at him right there, number 42. You can see superimposing on that defensive line. First time we mentioned Reed's name, and it was his second year playing football. His first year last year, Mike.
Yeah, that's amazing. And he was a rotational guy last year, and now he's thrust into a different role.
A lot of these guys last year for Lawrence were rotational guys. A lot of guys with little experience, but this is their time. Reed again with the tackle. Met immediately. Boy, you could tell he does have the speed for Supple's defense.
He's got the speed, the size, the strength. He was inside on the tight end on that. It looked like they were not in the right defensive formation. And Southside did a nice job sealing down, getting outside, and getting a 3-4 yard gain for a first down.
Right, wasn't enough to stop him from the first down. So it's 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line for Southside. Things have slowed down a little bit now on offense. Considine back in at quarterback.
Pistol gun.
All kinds of looks here for Coach Phil Onesto's offense. They give that time to the up back, number 1. He's still got room. Maurice Reed, the junior running back, 5'8", 155 with his first carry of the day, and it's a big gainer for the Cyclones.
He's your speed guy. He's your scat bat. He's not going to be the one that's running you over. He's going to be the guy that's going to be running the quick plays, the quick hitches, the quick sweeps. And I'll tell you one thing, he made a really nice cut on that. You see everybody was trying to string it out. He planted his foot in the turf and got upfield.
Tackled at the 9, so it's 1st and goal from the 9-yard line. Southside cannot pick up a first down here. Under center, Considine in the eye. This formation didn't work the last time. Lucchese only for a couple this time. With the tackle, Giordinello, once again, number 11 for Lawrence.
Just running a counter on that, getting a little bit closer. It looks like they're at the 6-yard line. They're still in good shape right now.
One thing we haven't seen for Southside is a pass. Are you surprised by that?
No, I'm not surprised by that. You got to remember, they're still going with their second-string quarterback, even though he's doing a good job right now managing the offense, but they have been mixing in the Wildcat. If Mr. Pickett was playing, you'd see the ball in the air.
Right. In case you're tuning in late, the senior, William Pickett, the starting quarterback, not playing today, a coach's decision. It is John Jude Considine in. It's his first start at the varsity level. He was a 2-year starter at JV. Now in shotgun. And the give right up the top to Maurice Reed again. Not much doing there. Maybe a gain of a yard. It's going to bring up 3rd down, Mike.
The one thing that I'm going to tell you Lawrence has, they have a big line. You know, they're big up front. You know, I don't know if I would be wanting to run at those big guys. Southside, I think, might have the speed advantage right now.
On 3rd and goal, would you take this to the outside?
Yes, I would. I would spread them out like they did before. I don't know if I would come out in an empty 5 wide, but I would definitely come out with some kind of a spread offense. And as I say that, they're going trips out here to the bottom of the field, motioning into empty.
Here's a pass to Lucchese. He's got room, and he's in for the touchdown. So we did see a pass. It's Considine's first pass of the season, and it goes for a 3-yard touchdown to Lucchese, his second of the day. Southside 13-7.
Great call by Coach Ernesto. They came out with a trips formation. They motioned into a quad formation. They had the numbers. All he had to do was get the ball. Everybody blocked man on, and he walked into the end zone.
McNicholas on for the point after. And it's a boomer right through, so it's 14-7. The Cyclones answer right back after Lawrence's touchdown. It comes with 5:39 to go in the first quarter. We'll take a timeout. Well, let's take a look at the replay of that one more time. He knew where he wanted to go right away. There was no hesitation.
There was no hesitation. Once they motioned out, nobody went with him on the motion, so they were basically 4 on Lawrence's 3 defenders.
Quick timeout. Back with more after this on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Welcome back. Ben Turchin, Mike Spina here from Southside High School. It is a Conference 3 showdown in Nassau County. And, Mike, so far we've been treated to a pretty good game. You know, you don't know what you're going to get week 1. You don't know what Lawrence is going to look like with the lower seed and a new head coach. same coaching staff and what Southside's going to look like with the 2 seed. But so far, very exciting game.
Yeah, this is offense. I like this. Both teams are coming out there and running their offense. Now, I'm going to be curious to see what happens in this drive right now because Lawrence went one play, 80 yards. Now, can they sustain that? Southside came down and chewed up some clock, beat them up a little bit. Now you want to see how Lawrence reacts to that. This is a key drive right now in this game because if they go 3 and out and Southside gets the ball and goes down and score,
could get out of hand.
It could get out of hand.
Pat Cave is back with Walker. McNicholas's kick this time won't reach. I take that back. It does reach the end zone. Now, let me ask you this. With all the athleticism that Lawrence has, are you surprised that they're not electing to take it back? Or do you think Coach Supple had mentioned that during practice, not to take it back?
Well, once the ball, the rule is once the ball goes into the end zone, whether it's a foot or the ball, it's automatic touchback. So the ball hit at the 1 yard deep, it's an automatic ball at the 20.
Can you send the player into the end zone to return?
No, you cannot.
So that really is a weapon there.
It is a weapon.
Has.
When you have a kicker, that's a huge weapon.
Just for field position alone, as you had mentioned, Southside's been starting with phenomenal field in the first quarter, and Lawrence has been at the 20 the past their series.
Both series. Well, let's see what happens right now. Lawrence coming out and spread, 3-1.
Abacassis this time will keep. No, he flips it. Left side. And the carry by Aquan Walker.
Yes, running a little option to the weak side. Nice pitch. Gain of 9, it looks like.
And you can see that they're getting the ball to Walker. This is the only skilled returning starter on this team. And he's the only guy, Mike, that has played football his entire life with the Inwood Buccaneers feeder program in the Lawrence area. He's really the only guy on this squad that has played football as a youth.
Yes, and here they go again with the little bubble screen.
To Wong, that's Eric Wong, number 24, but he's wrestled down.
And what's funny is he had the first down and he looked to try to make something. Oh, they gave him the first down.
Xavier Brewster, number 30, with the tackle.
Interesting spot on that. Looked like he got pushed back to the 29, but they gave him forward progress. I'll tell you, he's throwing a nice ball right now, Jack.
Abacassis, again, we mentioned he's a senior, but it's his first season as the starting quarterback for Lawrence. As you see, they spread Southside wide. Abacassis, this time on the far side of the field, has a guy for about 8 yards.
Yep, going empty, running a little tunnel screen.
Mikael Henry. Now, here's a story about Mikael Henry, number 10. Mike, he's a basketball kid. Coach Supple has been asking him for years to come out and play football. This is the first year, and this has been a theme if you're listening to this broadcast. This is the first year that Henry is playing football. A lot of guys, not a lot of experience, but a lot of athleticism.
Well, it's funny because he is an athlete, and mark my words on this, Lawrence is only going to get better as the year goes on. This might be the best time to play Lawrence, week 1, when all these young guys and these first-year guys have never played.
This time, it's a keeper by Walker, getting involved everywhere he can, Mike. I think it's obvious what Coach Supple is trying to do, put the ball into his best playmaker's hands offensively, and that's Aquan Walker.
Sure. Coach said he was their playmaker. Last year he had 16 catches. He had 4 touchdowns last year. So he's the feature right now. They're going to get him the ball any which way they can.
Only a junior, folks, so 2 more years of Aquan Walker, number 5. Keep an eye on him. In the backfield is Eric Wong, the senior, number 24. Another good-looking player for Lawrence. We'll talk about him as the broadcast moves on. Cave, it's going to keep it. Abacassis will keep it himself. Looking for that first down, and he has it out to the 45-yard line. Let's get you the south side. They didn't get it?
No, they had the first down last play. That was a fake jet sweep. We call it Amtrak. All right, he's reading the defensive end. If the defensive end goes with the jet sweep, he's going to pull it. It was a gain of 2.
2nd and 8, gain of 2. My mistake. Shotgun here. And Abacassis has some backers to the left and right of him with 3 receivers. Both fakes, looking long. In the flat. Walker makes a man miss. Has the first down the sideline, pushed out of bounds at the 40-yard line. The playmaking ability by Walker, Mike, you got to love the shimmy.
Yeah, you can't teach that.
No.
I mean, he catches the ball. 2 guys have him pinned. He jump cuts one guy, spins to another, and gains of 6 yards and gets a first down.
If the rest of Conference 3 is watching this, they're thinking to themselves, well, you told us no Frederick, but now we got to deal with a Walker?
Yeah, this is impressive. He looks just like a Fredericks.
You wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Only by the uniform number. Oh, a fumble on the handoff, and Southside gets it. Big play there by the Cyclones. Mike, I never thought the transfer really happened there.
No, he never had the ball. The ball was on his hip. It was a read. It was a zone read, and it just looked like he put the ball on his hip and nobody saw the ball on the ground. And, hey, that's part of football right now. Now you have to regroup. Your defense has to make a play right now. If you're Southside, I'm going right in the air. I'm going up in the air. See if the Lawrence team is right now down a little bit. Try to catch them off the turnover.
One of the things about an inexperienced team are situations like that. It's Abacassis' first game starting at quarterback. You don't know if maybe some miscommunication on the handoff there with his teammate. In any event, it's a turnover. And, Mike, once again, field possession, beautiful for Southside at their own 45-yard line. You can't ask for better.
Sure, 42, 45, 38-yard line. Back to the eye.
Back to the eye. Mostly we've seen running plays out of this formation. Considine does give it to Xavier for a couple. Xavier Brewster, number 30, another senior for this team.
Sure, and like I said, Lawrence has 2 big bodies inside. So far when they've run inside, they're struggling a little bit.
Talking about Yuri Martinez, number 70, 290, 6'2". Manera, number 74, we talked about him. He's around 380, 390 right now, but he came into high school at 360 pounds.
But they're not slugs. These boys are moving. Right. They're moving. They're getting their hands on. They're shedding. They're doing a nice job inside. Now, of course, here we go. They're going to spread them out. They're going empty, 5 wide.
And here's Lacalzi. We have a man in motion.
Go to quads.
And the ball bounces, and here comes pressure. Josiah Reed in the backfield, and he brings him down. So not a great snap, a second to catch the ball, and it may have cost the Cyclones.
Sure, that throws the timing off on the play. It was supposed to be a fake jet sweep. The ball's on the ground for the second time now. All right, now that could turn out to be an issue later on.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a sweat issue. It's not that hot out tonight. It's a nice cool day. I think it was around 70 degrees during the day, so it's not overly hot. I don't know, and it's not raining. So I don't know if it's a brand new ball, if it's slick, or what the conditions are out there.
Yeah, sometimes when you put a 290-pounder over a center, sometimes you get a little bit nervous.
In shotgun, Considine looks to throw, has pressure, evades, looking downfield, and breaking tackles one after the other, still on his feet. Lawrence can't get him out of bounds, and they finally do. What a run by Considine.
That was a great job. That was a poor job of tackling by Lawrence. You know, we talk about getting low, tackle by the legs. 3 of those guys just tried to use the sideline and knock them out of bounds. Right. You're not tackling these Southside kids by just throwing two-hand shiver at them. You got to tackle low. You got to lock up. Interesting call here. 4th and 5, 50-yard line.
I'm curious as why they spotted the ball there unless he stepped out of bounds. It looked like he had the first.
And he stepped out.
He must have stepped out of bounds. So Southside will punt it away. Mark Weber, the senior, number 12. But Lawrence doesn't believe in the punt, Mike, because they have nobody back.
That's offsides on Lawrence.
If that is, it could be a first down.
No, I'm sorry. That's offsides on Southside. They just ran somebody off the sideline in the middle of the play.
Can't do that, obviously.
Nope.
It'll set him back 5 yards. Doesn't really hurt Southside all that much if Weber can pin back these tornadoes.
Well, the only difference is now Lawrence will probably put somebody deep.
Let's see if they do. Right now, no indications yet. Now Walker, number 5. We've mentioned his name a lot today. He is back. Weber, the left-footed punter. That's going to land in bounds, and it's going to bounce Southside's way. Look at this punt, Mike. Very rarely do you see that in high school. It's going to be at the 10-yard line, and not to beat a dead horse. But again, field possession, not great for Lawrence.
Special teams, special teams, special teams. 1/3 it again. And people on the high school level still don't understand that it's a third of the game.
So Lawrence will have work to do here with 43 seconds left in the first quarter. It's been a very exciting game from Southside High School. Opening weekend around Nassau County. Conference 3, Conference 1, Conference 2 and 4 today playing football. This is the first game to kick off a 6 o'clock start. And we are pleased to bring it to you today on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Now, give Lawrence a lot of credit for that defensive stand coming off a turnover. Now, one thing we haven't talked about, the 6 o'clock start,
Yep.
the sun.
And the shadows that you could clearly see on the field.
You see some of the players shielding their eyes. Right now, you could see that south side is looking into the sun. It can be a factor.
So Abacassis will line up in shotgun, and the give is to Walker. But he is met, I don't think, for any gain whatsoever. Nice job by Lacalzi with the tackle at about the 10-yard line. So no gain should bring up 2nd and 10.
Actually, it looks like it's going to be a loss of 3 or 4 yards on that. Lacassi did a great job reading that jet sweep. What Southside did on that was they shifted their front right before the snap. I don't know if they got a read or if it was from their scouting report, but they shifted right to where the ball was going on that.
So they do call it a loss of yards, 2nd and 13. I don't know if we had a timeout here on this play because the clock stopped.
And that brings us to the end of the first quarter.
And actually, the scoreboard was wrong on the field. The referees always keep it on the field officially. They call it the end of the first quarter. Our score 14-7, Southside with the early touchdown lead. We will take a timeout. We're back with the second quarter after this on the Varsity Media Sports Network. And we are back here, second quarter action about to kick off momentarily. Want to tell you about one of our sponsors for tonight's game once again. That would be Press 195, located here in Rockville Center at 22 North Park Avenue. And they have a special promotion this weekend. If you head to their Panini shop and screenshot this ad right here on the screen, take a picture of it with your phone, screenshot it, bring it to them today, tomorrow, or Sunday, and you can get free French fries all weekend long. I don't know how you don't head over to them this weekend with that kind of offer. That's a great offer, and we thank Press 195 for sponsoring tonight's live stream. So here we go on the opposite side of the field now, and there are shadows on the field. Mike had mentioned it. We'll see if that plays a factor here the rest of the game. Abacassis going to the middle and juggled. Walker almost came away with it. Great coverage by Maurice Reed, number 1, the defensive back there, Mike. And that time, incomplete by Lawrence.
Well, it's interesting. Southside high-load him. They pressed him, and then they had somebody over the top. So he ran into double coverage. And you can tell right now that's Lawrence's option right now, because as much as he was double covered, he was not open on that. They didn't care. They were going to throw him the ball and see if he can make a play.
Brings up 3rd and 13 now. Long distance here for Lawrence, and they are deep in their own territory. Motion is Wong. And a nice play. Walker with the reception up the middle, making guys miss, but tripped up by T.J. Mahar. What a great job on an open field tackle. Or, Mike, that would have went for much longer.
That was a great tackle. He was gone. He ran a slant on that. They motioned into empty. Even with that, he wasn't really open. And they made a great catch on that. And you saw how he was looking to cut on that. This kid's an athlete.
Abacassis has been impressive with some of these throws, and Walker as well. But T.J. Mahar, the linebacker for Southside, number 11, he flies all over the field. Phil Onesta really likes him, and only a sophomore. Abacassis again. He's got a man off the fingertips, that time by number 10 for Lawrence. And it's going to be an incomplete pass, Mike.
Yeah, that's a play that's got to be made. Now, I'm watching Abacassis go to the sideline right now holding his back. He must have taken a shot.
That is something to watch. The starting quarterback for Lawrence, and he is out of the game now.
He's out.
Mikael Henry with the deflection, and Mike, we talked about it last quarter. Mikael Henry playing his first ever varsity football game. He's never played football before. Never played JV. Never played varsity. So again, the inexperience for Lawrence.
Yeah, a little bit there. Now they're going to go Wildcat. Walker's going to go to the quarterback spot.
Why not go with your best athlete? He'll keep it himself off the right side, similar to what Lacalzi does for Southside. Looked like maybe a loss of 1. And again, Mike, defensively, TJ Mahar with the tackle.
Yeah, he's all over the field right now. He's just getting a read and another Lawrence player down. This is what's going to happen with a very inexperienced Lawrence team. I don't know what their depth is. You know, they've had depth in the past. If they start getting guys, whether it's cramping, head injuries, back injuries, whatever it is, any kind of injury, this is where you're going to start to see this game start to get out of hand a little bit, because Southside looks like they have a little bit more depth. They have a lot more experience. And when you're a kid who's never played football before, it's sometimes hard to understand the difference about being hurt and being injured.
Well, there's a timeout on the field for the injury, so we'll step aside, back with more action right after this on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Interested in sponsoring a live stream broadcast? Varsity Media streams offer tremendous visibility for your business. Contact us today at 866-577-1950 for rates and packages.
Just a moment ago, Aquan Walker was able to get off the field on his own power. That's great to see. Number 5, they sorely need him. Mike, it's week 1. How much of this is conditioning? Starting to see a couple of guys banged up here. Does conditioning have anything to do with it? Are we in game shape yet, week 1?
I don't know if I would say we're in total game shape. I don't know what their summer program is. It was hot today. It's starting to cool down a little bit. But now it looks like Abacatsis
is back in. That's a good sign on 3rd and 10. Wants to go long, has a receiver, but it's going to be short. Looking for Pat Cave there, number 12, and it'll be 4th and 10. Before the punt, let's show you the starting defense for Southside. We haven't shown you Southside starting defense. A lot of good players here on this side of the ball, and we've owed that to you. So let's take a look at this before the punt. TJ Mahar, the sophomore, number 11. Luca Mormando, number 56, the senior. We'll talk about him throughout the course of the game. So there's your starting defense for the Cyclones, and they bring up a 4th down here. It'll be Eric Wong, number 24, to punt it away, and we'll have 2 guys back for Southside to field this one. Brewster, number 30, looks like Lacalzi, 33. Why not have your best athletes there?
Sure, why
to
not?
return the punt. So go over Lacalzi's head a little bit, take a bounce, but it is returnable at midfield. Still on his feet. Breaking tackles, Nick Lacalzi. Stiff arms out to the 40-yard line. It's unbelievable the field possession that Southside is coming away with in this game today, Mike.
Yeah, they're slowly taking this game over. Not just the field possession, but you're starting to see the Lawrence tacklers staying up high, starting to bounce off Lacalzi. And by the 3rd or 4th quarter, you're going to see those maybe shoestring tackles where they stop them at the 40-yard line. They're going to be touchdowns.
Let's take a look at some of the players that we should be watching here in this game. It's our Prospect New York watch list. Let's start with Southside. Let's pull them up here for a second. Prospect New York State does a great job. They come up with a watch list every game of guys to keep an eye on. Obviously, Lacalzi, number 33, he's a senior. Brewster, we've talked about him, number 30, also a senior. And we've yet to mention Richie Petrone. He's a big lacrosse player here for Southside. He wears number 20, also a senior. All these guys have college aspirations to play at the next level, whether it's lacrosse or football. But all 3 of these guys could play football at the next level. That's your New York State, Prospect New York State watch list. And, of course, they hold a showcase coming up next year with their players. Brewster on the left side. He's got a 1st down out to the 25-yard line.
Sure, that's great. That's great blocking downfield. Any good running back needs a commitment by the wide receivers and by the slot backs, whether they call them H's and X's or slots, whatever you want to call them. Every program is different. We call them H's, we call them X's at Massapequa. That's a great job just getting his hands on, creating that seam, and let the running back do what he has to do.
So it's a 1st down at the 26-yard line. And now Considine in shotgun, and quickly to Brewster up the middle, and he's dragging, tackling, he fumbles the ball. We have a flag and a fumble. But Southside recovers.
That was an inside zone. My guess, looking at that, is they're going to call a spear or a personal foul. That's my guess. Something with a blow to the head just by the way the ball popped out on the contact, which is where the flag was thrown. Let's see, what did we get here?
It was recovered by Andrew Fingleton. He's a sophomore, number 50. Heads up play by him, but you're right, the flag is on Lawrence.
And it is a personal foul, blow to the head. They called it a targeting. Nobody is being ejected.
So even if Lawrence would have recovered that fumble, it still would stay Southside ball. Southside was able to recover their own fumble. A nice run by Brewster, by the way, one of our prospect New York State watch list players in this game. And he gets a nice run for the first down before the fumble. And they're in business here, Mike. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Cyclones.
And give the big boys up front some credit. Jack Temple, Luca Mormando, they're doing a great job opening up holes.
They spot the ball at about right on the 10-yard line, it looks like. So the sticks are down, 1st and goal. Considine looking to throw. Lukowski open on the near side. He's going to walk into the end zone. Touchdown, Cyclones. Lukowski's 3rd touchdown in the first half.
Now,
20-7.
Same play they ran in the first quarter. They motioned into empty. This time, I don't think Lukowski was the first option because he waited, and Lawrence kind of got off him a little bit. And he looked down, he checked down. And once he gets the ball, he's a load.
3 touchdowns in the first half for this senior. We've mentioned it so many times. Committed to play Army lacrosse. Could easily play football. Played on this team, Mike, since 9th grade. He was 2nd team All-State defense last year. 2nd team All-Long Island. 12 touchdowns last year. I mean, the list goes on and on with Nick Lukowski. He's a weapon, and he might be one of the best players Conference 3 has this year.
Yeah, he's going to be one of the top 2 or 3 players. But what's probably really the best thing about him, he's going to Army. He's going to West Point. So
Right.
Not only is he a phenomenal football player, and we're seeing evidence of that, he's smart.
He is a smart kid. Let's take a look at this play one more time on the touchdown. Constantine, look at Constantine, by the way. Nice job getting the ball out, and Lukowski just diving over
Sure.
for the touchdown.
And did you see the blocks downfield?
Yeah. Absolutely fantastic. All right, we'll take a timeout. 21-7 is our score. 10 minutes to go here in the second quarter on the Varsity Media Sports Network. From Southside High School, 21-7 is our score. 10 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Ben Turchin and Mike Spina with you today. We thank you for joining us here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. All our games completely free on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Varsity Media. TJ McNicholas, this one is returnable for Lawrence as Walker sidesteps a defender, takes it out to the 23-yard line. And that's where the Golden Tornadoes will go to work. Mike, you had said a series ago how important it was to stop Southside to stay in this game. I would think that you would agree that this offensive series for Lawrence is going to be equally as important.
Oh, absolutely. When you're down 14, it doesn't look like Lawrence has an answer for the Southside offense right now. So you have to start matching score by score. So they're going to have to maybe chew up a little clock, too, because that defense has been on the field pretty much the first quarter and 5 minutes into the second quarter. So this is a little bit crucial. Now, I don't know if you want to put the ball in the air right now and go 3 and out. You might want to chew up some clock. Most of the guys on Lawrence are playing both ways, and that's going to start to take its toll in the second half.
And it's not like Lawrence doesn't have athletes to get the job done offensively. So we'll see what Coach Jay Supple elects to do here. I know he told us during the week that he wants to run the ball, and we're going to have a lot of guys out of position and some motion here. Should be a false start.
Yes, it is, and you're starting to see them coming apart a little bit. It's almost getting to that point where you might almost want a little bit of a timeout just to settle them up. Remember, they're playing with a bunch of first-year football players. And I can tell you right now, Coach Supple's doing a great job because he's recruiting these kids. And there's some athletes here. There's some size here. They're going to take time to gel. But when they do, towards the middle and end part of this year, they could be a very dangerous team because they have the weapons.
1st and 15, not the way you want to start the series there. They run, looks like the same kind of play. There's penetration in the backfield. And brought down by number 55, Jack Temple. Give Temple credit to stay with the play. Got the penetration and then made the tackle. Let's take a look at Prospects New York State watch list for Lawrence. We've mentioned before how many athletes they have on the field. Coach Supple giving us these 3 players that he thinks have college potential. Josiah Reed, we saw him defensively in the beginning of the first quarter, number 42. The quarterback, Jack Abacassis. And Eric Wong, number 24, the running back, who hasn't had the ball that much as Walker has been dominating. Walker only a junior. Obviously, he's a big-time prospect as well. We've mentioned his name throughout. And off that screen pass, looks like he should have close, depending on where he's spotted out of bounds. No, he's not actually, so we'll be 3rd down.
It's 3rd down and about 7. But here's the difference. They ran the same type of play that Southside ran, but did you see the difference in the blocking from the receivers?
Yep.
All right, the receiver for Lawrence missed his block, where the Southside receivers are getting their hands on and locking in. That's the difference.
That comes with experience.
It comes with experience. Poor snap.
We're going to have another penalty here. Looks like could be delay a game. False start.
False start.
False start on Lawrence. That's 2 false starts on this drive. But my question to you is, we haven't seen that so far in the game. Why now with Lawrence?
When you're down 21-7 and you're starting to get a couple guys coming up a little bit slower, it starts to get into your mind.
Brings up 3rd and a long 13. Keep an eye on Walker, number 5. Abacassis, most likely looking for him. Has time, throwing it up. Walker! Well, that was a great job, because if he doesn't deflect that, Mike, it's an interception by T.J. McNicholas, who was like a center fielder waiting for that ball.
Absolutely. The defender was now the offensive player.
Right.
And Walker, who was just running a post pattern, ended up becoming the defender. And he made a great play on that. But again, now you go 3 and out.
Right.
You had 2 penalties. You started from the 23. Field position has been killing Lawrence all game. Here we go. You're punting the ball back to their 2 players. They actually do not have Walker back on this.
You have Lucalzi and you have, let's see, can't make out the number, but
Malcoin.
Wang's punt. That's a good one. Still taking a Southside bounce. That's unbelievable. A Lawrence bounce. My mistake. An unbelievable punt down at the 25. That's the worst field possession so far for Southside, so a nice job by the punter.
Sure. He actually was kicking it away. It hit right by the sideline and rolled back inside. That was like a 49, 50-yard punt with the roll.
Let's talk about Lawrence offensively for a second, because it's not like they can't connect with Walker. He's all over the field. What can you do if you have to make any adjustments next time around to get the ball in his hands more? He's a playmaker.
He's a playmaker that they are trying to move him around. They're not putting him in one spot. What Lawrence needs to do right now is find somebody else that's going to make a play. When somebody starts making a play, that will open it up for the Walker. But until someone makes a play, and Southside knows that right now. Southside knows it. They're coming after him.
We have another whistle on the field. Looks like this could be a timeout.
Timeout, Southside.
The Cyclones want to talk it over. Comes with 8:19 to go in the first half. We'll step aside. Back with more after this on the Varsity Media Sports Network. First and 10 from the 25-yard line for the Cyclones, taking on the Golden Tornadoes. It's like 2 storms brewing here, Mike, in this game. You got the Tornadoes, you got the Cyclones. Very apropos this time of the year with our weather patterns around the globe. 21-7 is our score. Ben Turchin, Mike Spina. And the Cyclones off to a commanding lead here in the first quarter, first half. Week 1 around Long Island for high school football, and we thank you for spending some time with us tonight to watch this big battle in Conference 3. Looks like it's Xavier Brewster out to the 30-yard line, a 5-yard gain, and Josiah Reed, number 42, making the tackle.
Coming out empty, Lucchesi's at quarterback. Brewster comes in motion, just running a jet sweep. Very interesting how Coach Ernesto is running this offense right now without his quarterback.
Right.
It doesn't look like they've missed one beat whatsoever. Like I said, next man up.
One thing I would notice is maybe not much of an aerial attack. I know Constantine's had some throws. They've been more in the flat so much, really not down the field type throws so far in the game. And he hasn't needed that, Mike. He really hasn't.
No, he hasn't. Same formation.
This time, a great tackle by Manara. Lucchesi goes down, maybe a gain of 1, if that. Great job by 74.
Oh, he did a great job on that. He just took his hands and put them on the offensive lineman's chest, threw him out of the way, and made a great tackle. Little high still. Little high, but he did a really, really nice job.
Talked about David Manara, a 3-year starter for Lawrence. He is the guy with the most experience for the Golden Tornadoes. He's another team leader, a captain. Most of the players on this team, if not all, look up to him. Kind of sets the tone here for the Lawrence Tornadoes, both offensively and defensively, making that big tackle on Lucchesi. Brings up 2nd and 6. Ball bounces again on the snap, causes some penetration in the backfield. Lucchesi breaking tackles. He's still on his feet at the 40. It's going to be a foot race, and I don't think anybody's going to get him, but here comes Walker. Walker trying to bring him down, and he does at the 5-yard line. How about the speed of Walker, and how about the tackle-breaking skills of Nick Lucchesi?
Well, I told you, when Lawrence starts to get a little tired, he's going to start being run. Now, here's the key. There's 2 Lawrence players down at the 25-yard line. I can't see the numbers, but
one of them
2
is
of
Reed.
them.
One of them is Reed, and that would be a big-time loss for Lawrence for him to miss any time in this game. Big-time player. The other guy we can't tell right now.
And it just looks like they collided with each other, trying to make the tackle. You see the strength of Lucchesi. I can see why he's going to West Point. I mean, he's going to serve our country.
Yeah.
My hat's off to him.
So Lawrence is still tending to some players on the field. We'll take a timeout here on the injury, and we'll be back with more right after this.
Interested in sponsoring a live stream broadcast? Varsity Media Streams offer tremendous visibility for your business. Contact us today at 866-577-1950 for rates and packages.
Eric
Uloa, number 2, the other Lawrence player, nicked up on the play. Both players, Reed and Uloa, able to walk onto the sideline. That is good news. Let's take another look at that play, if we can, for a second. Nick Lucchesi's big-time run. We don't have it for you.
Well, it was the same formation. It was an empty formation. They motioned Walker into quads, and basically he just broke 3 or 4 tackles. I mean, Lawrence did a good job sealing them.
Yep.
All right, they made him cut back, but he just broke tackles. And that's what happens now. You're down 21-7. You could see things are not going your way. You start to get up a little bit slower. You could start to look across from you, and the guy's eyes don't have that same fire in it. This could get out of hand quick.
1st and goal from the 6. Lucchesi drops the ball, but nobody can bring him down, folks, until finally a tackle is made. Hugo Ratana, number 7. And, Mike, give him credit because it hasn't been easy to bring Nick Lucchesi down tonight.
No, and that's a one-on-one tackle, and the reason he did it, because he went low. Now, again, it was a snap that was on the ground. If there's a negative to Southside right now, and it's the only negative I've seen, is they got to do a little bit better job with their shotgun snaps.
Loss of 5 yards on the play will bring up 2nd and 11.
And that could be timing. That could be the fact that Pickett's not playing, different cadence. So I'm not going to put that all on the center. It's sometimes these things happen.
2nd and goal from the 11. Southside cannot get a first down. Must get into the end zone. Constantine back under center. Nice catch off the high snap. Going to the end zone looking for Brewster. He's got a foot in. I don't know. We should take a replay because I think he was in. Let's get another look. This is where replay comes in. I thought he was in.
And
Referee says out.
Southside fans are booing like he was in. They thought he was in too. That's a great throw, though. Back shoulder.
We're going to get a good look at this. Nice catch, too, because that could have fallen behind him. Here we go. Great throw. Take a look at his feet. Oh, he was in the line.
Out of bounds.
Out of bounds. Great call by the referee. The foot on the line is out of bounds. Only got one in. Great job by our replay guy, Chris, today. Our technical director doing an outstanding job with that look. We thought he was in. But as they say, Mike, and you know this as a coach, video never lies.
No, it doesn't.
3rd and goal, Constantine eluding pressure, but finally Josiah Reed, who's back on the field with the sack, number 42. Mike, you said they needed to step up with some big plays on this defensive series. Lawrence gets it done.
And I'll tell you the player right now, Hugo Ritana. He came from the outside. He's the one that tackled Lakazi one-on-one.
Correct.
He has just made 2 huge defensive plays on this drive.
Well, you said in the beginning of the game, when you have a kicker, it's a weapon. Southside is taking T.J. McNichols now for a big-time field goal attempt. They're going to put this at the 37-yarder.
37
That's big
from
in high school.
Yeah, 37 from the hash. He's hit every extra point solid.
The snap is down. The kick has distance, but it never had distance. My mistake. It was short and a little wide right. Do you agree with that call right there?
Yes, I do. The way he's been kicking the ball, he just mishit that. Give Lawrence some credit.
Yeah, they
give
needed it.
Coach Supple and his staff credit. They're not giving up.
No.
You just saw 2 players laying on the 25-yard line, a 50-yard run down to the 5-yard line, and they came up with a defensive stand. Now, did Southside help them out with a couple bad snaps and some mistakes? Sure, but give Lawrence credit. They're not going away so easily.
That's a big break for the Golden Tornadoes. But one thing that they're going to need to do is get Walker the ball in space, whether it's through passing or running. I know you said they need somebody else to step up, but right now he's their guy, Mike. He's the one that's making the plays for this team. They need to put the ball in his hands.
They do. And I'm real curious to see if they come back to Mikael Henry. Even though he made that drop, I'm real curious to see if they come over the middle with him once again, maybe get him on an out route just to get somebody else going a little bit.
Henry with 1 catch today, but also 1 drop. But you're right. They need as many weapons as they can get. Shotgun formation.
I'd like to see what Brady West can do.
Ball in Walker's hands. Breaking tackles up the middle. Dragging Southside defenders to the 25-yard line. And it looks like enough for first down. We've got a fumble signal and a first down signal. And the referees say fumble.
Wow.
Can you believe that? We're going to have to get another look at that if possible, Chris, to see if he did fumble on that play.
That play didn't look right from the start. It looked like a bad mesh once again. Again, you're talking about first-year players.
Let's go, boys!
And you're starting to see a little frustration coming from the Lawrence sideline right now.
Well, just when they made a defensive stop, a crushing blow for Lawrence on a fumble call. And, give Walker credit. He was making defenders miss. He was breaking tackles, trying for the first down. And I guess at the end there, the ball came loose, and it's Southside ball.
Yeah, Southside ball. He was a victim of his own effort. And I know that's hard to say, but he's trying so hard to make a play that he just let go of the ball after 4 or 5 guys were ripping at it. And I don't want to say he let go of the ball. Southside stripped it. Right. They did a great job. There is a 4-minute warning right now, so we got 4 minutes to go, and it's 21-7 with Southside with the ball. Going back to Wildcat.
Mike, Lawrence is going to need another stop here, back-to-back, to stay in this game. If Southside goes up 28-7 at halftime, it's going to be very difficult for Lawrence to get back in this game.
That's 2 men in motion like that. That's an illegal shift, and they just called it.
So that'll help Lawrence a little bit as Southside's backed up 5 yards.
Actually, they called delay a game.
We haven't seen Southside make too many mistakes in this game today. They've played a very clean game. Mike, you said it when we took a commercial break. You can see why they got the 2 seed.
Oh, absolutely.
Very fundamentally sound under Phil Onesto, his 9th season. Returning seniors. They've only lost 3 guys from last year's team on the line. That's pretty impressive.
Another flag on it. Now the game is starting to get a little bit ugly. False start, Southside should use a timeout right now. Just to calm them down right now. They got plenty of time. Their field position is still very, very good. It's 1st and 20, but they're at the 32-yard line. Good time for a timeout. Settle your groups down. This is a big drive right here. They go up 3 scores, second half. It'll be tough for Lawrence to come back.
So it's 1st and 20 from the 33-yard line, and that'll be shotgun. Lukowski, a couple of shotgun times has been on the floor, and Lukowski takes himself. Not much doing there, a couple of yards at most. And let's see who got in on the tackle. Number 22 and number 11, Rashawn Hines, along with number 11, Michael Giordinello.
Yeah,
for Lawrence.
it was a double stunt. It was what we call a bat. It was a double blitz by the 2 linebackers and made a nice play. Again, it starts, though, up front. If your defensive line is doing a good job containing the offensive linemen, your linebackers are going to make those plays.
2nd and 16. Lukowski again keeps it up the middle. Now has running room. This has been a problem for Lawrence the whole game here in the first half, and brought down at about the 15-yard line. Tackle made there by number 7 for Lawrence, Hugo Ratana.
He's all over the field, this kid.
Yep.
And he's coming from the weak side, the backside end on this. That's a player that knows what he's got to do. He's trying everything he can, bringing him down.
Biggest defensive play of the first half here for the Tornadoes comes on 3rd down. Late here in the second quarter, they need the stop and the ball back. Lukowski, he's got running room, left side. Josiah Reed with the tackle, but I think he has enough for the first down. And he does, Mike.
That's a big play right there. That's where you wanted Lawrence to come up and make a play. I mean, right now, you know he's not throwing the ball. And if he throws the ball, hats off to what they call. But I think you have to come up with 8, 9 guys in the box, sell out, and say, hey, listen, if you want to throw the ball and score, that's great. But I'm not going to let him run the ball, right down our throats like he's doing.
So a first down here for the Cyclones comes with 2:28 to go in the second quarter. Already up by 14 points and looking to add to the lead here as we approach halftime. Considine. Another bad snap, but he gets it off to his tailback, and he's in for the touchdown. Maurice Reed doing a hell of a job getting the ball off the carpet and scampering in for the score.
And that's what he did. He picked the ball up off the feet of the quarterback, Constantine.
Everything coming up roses here for the Cyclones. See if we get another look at the touchdown and what happened on the snap. Here we go. Let's take another look at it. On the ground, and somehow he just got the ball somehow. And it came right up to him.
It almost looked like the Lawrence players stopped when the ball was centered to the feet of the quarterback. It looks like they relaxed.
McNicholas for the extra point. That is up and good. And with 2 minutes to go here in the second quarter, Southside out to a commanding 28-7 lead.
Yes, they are. This is a very, very good team. And are they playing the cleanest game right now? No, they're not. Are they doing a great job without their starting quarterback? Yes, they are. This is a solid team. This is a team that if you're Plain Edge, you're Guantor, you're Roosevelt, you got to take notice. I mean, obviously the coaches seeded them second.
Right.
So the coaches know what Southside can do.
Plain Edge, you mentioned Plain Edge. They're the 1 seed. They are the defending champions in Nassau County. These 2 teams square off week 7 in Plain Edge. So circle that date on your calendar. I think it's November 2nd. Week 7 would be the 25th, week 7, and that's going to be a game to watch for sure.
It's going to be a great game. We scrimmage Plain Edge. I remember calling a game last year in the Long Island Championship. They have 0 weakness. And that quarterback, Valari, I'll tell you, he's healthy. And when that kid is healthy, he's as good as any quarterback around.
One of the best quarterbacks on Long Island, that would be Dan Valari. And we will see Plain Edge a little bit later in the season against Roosevelt on a Friday night. That's October 11th, but we'll have more announcements of our games of the week throughout the course of the season. So stick with us for that. All of our streams are free right here on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/varsitymedia. So make sure you tell a friend, spread the word, hit the bell for reminders. We have a game tomorrow that we'll tell you about coming up in the second half. And here we go, underway here on the kickoff for Southside. with 2 minutes to play in the first half. Lawrence able to return this one. And we'll have a flag wrestled at the 30-yard line.
Either going to be a
Pat Cave.
You're either going to have a hold or a clip it or pushing it back. This is a crucial drive right now. And when I say crucial, I don't mean whether you score or not. Coach Supple's got to make a decision right now. You're going to be backed up inside your 20-yard line once again. You either want to get into halftime down 21 points and regroup, or you want to say, hey, guys, we have a no-quit attitude. We're going to throw the ball. We're going to try to score. But the danger part of that is if you go 3 and out and Southside has timeouts and you don't get a first down, Southside might have enough time to get the ball back in his last 2:02, 1:55, I should say, on the clock, and score one more time before the halftime. And then they would be lights out.
Well, one thing I agree is they can't let Southside score. You can't go down 35-7 in this game. They have the opportunity here to at least put some points on the board. They're capable of doing it. We saw them strike really quick on their first offensive series. They just haven't been able to do anything since.
No, they haven't. And that's why you wonder if that one play was just, an aberration. Right now, they're coming out empty.
Little movement there, but it won't be called. In the flat, that's Wong, but it's short. Bounces on the turf. And it'll be incomplete there for Lawrence. Stops the clock at 1:50.
This is the scary part right now. 1:50, give or take. The clock is being kept on the field by the officials. It looked like he short-armed that a little bit, and that could be because he hurt his back. He must have taken some shot because he came out of the game. Now, shows his toughness, he's back in the game. But they're coming out empty, so there's no protection for him. So these got to be all quick routes.
There is pressure he avoids. Has a man open in the middle of the field. It's complete. And a big hit by T.J. Mahar once again. It'll be a first down. But Southside, Mike, they'll give that up all day long. It's the deep throws that they don't want to give. And by the way, Mikael Henry with the catch a second.
That's what I've been looking for. Somebody else on Lawrence to step up. So they're in a hurry up right now. They're in a Mayday, which we call Mayday Alert. Boom, here it goes.
3 timeouts for Lawrence. There's a complete pass to Walker out of bounds, so they don't need to call the timeout there. Nice looking play there, but Lawrence needs to move the chains, get down the field. They need a touchdown here before halftime.
They need something. Even if they don't score, they just want to keep moving the ball just to get some momentum. You want the kids going into the locker room right now feeling positive and feeling good about themselves. You don't want them going into the locker room saying, wow, guys, what just hit us?
So second and 6. Man in motion, that's Wong. Abacassis, dropped. McNicholas had it in his paws, and I think he was looking down the field before securing the ball.
Oh, that was pick six right off the – he read Constantine's eyes. He read that slant. He came from safety. He saw 6.
Yep. McNicholas is the senior defensive back, 6'1", 180. Abacassis in the flat. This is Walker. Walker pushed out of bounds.
That was very close. That's very, very close to a flag.
It is enough for a first down, so Lawrence keeping the chains moving, which is good. They have all 3 timeouts remaining with 1:19, we think. Again, the time is kept on the field, and we have another injury, and it's Aquan Walker, who's on the field hurt.
I think he's cramping. He was running off the field after the catch. He definitely got pushed out of bounds. I thought it was a little bit late. Okay, and then as he was walking by Coach Ernesto, nobody said anything. It was all good, and then he just went down. So I think he's cramping.
And that's not uncommon to see here week 1. Mike, it's interesting, and as a coach, you could talk a little bit about this because it seems like the way the calendar shook out this year, there was an extra week of practice. We're starting week 1 late. This is a late week 1 start on the 13th of September. Did the extra days help in practice?
Oh, I think it has to.
Right.
I think it has to.
From a conditioning standpoint.
I believe it has to. And I think everybody conditions during the summer and does what they have to do. But it's still early. And what kind of game shape are you in? It's early. It's week 1.
Right.
And there's a lot of mistakes week 1. And like I said, I just think he's cramping a little bit. They gave him water. They stretched him out a little bit. And he's going to just have to go out for a play. Right. And there's no doubt in my mind that he'll be back.
Right. And that's a big loss. You don't want to lose Aquan Walker for any plays here in this game, especially with 1:19 to go here in the second quarter in the half. So we're waiting for Walker to walk off the field. Good to see him able to do that. And as soon as he is off the field, we'll be good to go. 1st and 10. He was able to pick up the first down. Abacassis, little shoulder fake, going up top deep, and could not come down with it. Eric Wong, a little overthrown, but a nice-looking ball nonetheless.
It was a nice-looking ball. Just you're not throwing the ball to Walker. I mean, the difference in speed from the receivers there to what you have when you have Walker or even Henry, it's a big difference. But he throws a nice ball. And he's tall. He stands up tall in the pocket. Right now, I think Lawrence is going to realize that they're going to play fast this year, that they're going to be better playing fast, and their guys will get in better shape. And I'll tell you, week 8, they're going to be around.
Abacassis looking downfield, and that is overthrown, looking for Pat Cave at about the 40-yard line, but over his head. So Abacassis just needs to settle down a little bit. Got to move the chains here on this drive.
And there was good pressure from Patrick Ranieri on that. He dipped inside, made him throw the ball a little bit sooner than he wanted to. The front 4 right now for Southside is putting pressure on Constantine.
Mike, is this 4-down territory for Lawrence?
No.
Needs the first then. Abacassis evades pressure, and it's coming. Nice deflection. Good penetration and deflection by Southside. Looked like that time it was Brady West, one of the super sophomores here for Southside, number 22, getting his paws on it for the deflection.
Yeah, he did a great job on a flush right there. He put pressure on him. And here's your question. Here's your answer. 4th down and 10 at the 49. Your 49-yard line, not even theirs.
If we have any 1979
I punt. I play field position.
Well, the question is, can Southside score in 48 seconds? You have a field goal kicker with the leg. They've had some big plays here. If you're Lawrence, do you think that they can do that? If the answer is no, then you go for it.
Of course. And again, you're down 28-7. What do you got to lose? It's week 1.
So a timeout on the field, and we'll come back with Lawrence's answer and how they're going to play this. 4th and 10 from the 49. Back in a moment after this on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
This
49 seconds to go here in the first half. It's Ben Turchin and Mike Spina with you on the Varsity Media Sports Network. We thank you for joining us, for staying tuned in this game. It's opening weekend around Nassau County. This is a Conference 3 showdown. Number 2 seed Southside and number 8 seed Lawrence. And right now Southside has everything working. But the Tornadoes have a decision to make here. 4th and 10 with about... Clock says 27 seconds to go in the half, and it does look like Lawrence is going to punt. That's Eric Wong, number 24. We haven't called his name much offensively. He hasn't been involved too much, but he has done a nice job punting, and he'll try to pin Southside back. How did he avoid that from getting blocked? Unbelievable.
Oh, my God. He kicked the ball under him. That should have been blocked.
That's unbelievable job by Wong just to get rid of it, because that could have been a block for a touchdown.
Yes, Patrick Ranieri is doing a hell of a job on defense, and on that right there, he came in almost untouched, but his mark towards the punter, he went at his leg. He's got to aim in front of his leg, because you're right, that's a block, a scoop, and a score, because there was nobody else around.
So let's see, where do they spot the ball now for the Cyclones? Not a lot of time to work with here. Yeah, I think you got to be content with the 28-7 lead, kind of take a knee, go to the locker room. Southside has been in command really since the 7-7 mark here in this game. They have put up 21 unanswered points.
Listen, they gave up one play.
Right.
That's what they did.
That's correct.
One play. It was a great play, but that's all they've given up, one play.
Well, it doesn't look like they'll be content to take a knee as they line up in formation here.
Nah, they're going to empty. Same play they've scored twice, and you got a go route on the bottom of the screen right now.
There's Brewster, and he just couldn't corral it. Kind of lost track of where the ball was. Not a bad throw by Considine, who's been pretty impressive here. Again, if you're just coming into the game late, William Pickett, the starting quarterback, the senior, coach's decision not to play today. And so it's been in the hands of John Jude Considine, the junior, and he has been pretty good, Mike.
Yes, he has. He's done a really nice job. He's managing the game very, very well. Coaching staff's done a good job mixing in the Wildcat, and I like that call. What do you have to lose? It was incomplete. Now you can run the ball and run the clock out and go into halftime up 28-7.
Now they put 37 seconds on the clock. Officials are keeping the score from the field. Considine wants Richie Patron. First time we called Patron's name, number 20, but he could not complete the pass. Wasn't going to do much anyways.
No, there was good pressure up front. Once again, David Menara, he's playing a great game, this kid.
Yep.
You talked about him in the opening right there. That's a great job right there by putting constant pressure. He's moving. He doesn't move like his size.
Lost 80 pounds in 3 years to play both ways on the football field. Give him a lot of credit. And what happens here, Coach Supple for Lawrence, Mike? A little bit of gamesmanship. He calls a timeout now after the incompletion. It's 3rd down and 10. They put 30 seconds on the clock, so if he can stop Southside, he thinks he gets the ball back here, maybe puts a score on the board.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's the gamesmanship or he was just making sure that his coverage was correct. I don't know about that. I don't know how many chances I want to give Southside the way their offense is running right now.
Let's take this opportunity to remind you once again about Press 195, our sponsor for today's game. And they are offering an unbelievable deal here. Press 195, of course, the sandwich and sub shop located at 22 North Park Avenue in Rockville Center. Screenshot this ad, free french fries all weekend long. You can't beat that. And we'll talk to the owner of Press 195 coming up at halftime. Lacalzi keeps it himself up the middle. That's Pat Cave. Can't bring him down. He's at the 50. Mike, you might have called this one. Why give them an opportunity? Rumbling and stumbling all the way down to the 35-yard line of Lawrence. He's out of bounds. Clock stops.
Clock stops. That's what I said. You got to be satisfied sometimes, even when you're down 21 points. But again, downfield blocking by Richie Patron. 35 yards downfield, he's making a block while the defender is on him. That's a great job. This is a very well-coached team.
Patron is a second-generation captain. His father, believe it or not, played at Southside and was a captain as well, so football is in his genes. But Richie doesn't only play football. He's the face-off guy for the Cyclones lacrosse, and right now no commitments yet for Richie Patron, number 20, but has aspirations to play at the college level. So we'll keep an eye on Richie in the second half, number 20 for the Cyclones.
Little confusion by the offense. They weren't in the right offensive set. You could see a little bit of frustration, so Coach Ernesto's forced to call a timeout. Again, sometimes you just got to, take your lumps, go into halftime and make the adjustments. I mean, that's sometimes what you have to do with young kids. I think this could be devastating if Lawrence gives up a cheap score. I don't even want to say cheap score, but a score here when they had the ball with under a minute to go. Could have easily just ran the clock out. Get in. You get the ball in the second half, so you're still only down 3. This could get dangerous right now. One big play here, and right now you could see the Lawrence tackler starting to bounce off Lacazzi. I mean, listen. He's a phenomenal football player. His conditioning is even better.
So let's see what Southside has in store here, 1st and 10.
Constantine back at quarterback, Brewster back at tailback.
Yeah, they're going to go for it here. I mean, they have not put their foot off the gas, that's for sure. Ball's on the 36-yard line, and here comes pressure. Josiah Reed, Constantine able to elude it, but can't elude one more defender. And let's see if Southside calls off the dogs. Luke Kirchner, number 50, making the tackle, and we've got about 8 seconds to go.
At this point, I think Coach Ernesto's just going to run it out. It was another, whoop. That's going to be the half. Again, that play started with a snap that wasn't really that good.
So that is our score at halftime. Southside with a commanding 28-7 lead. We'll take a timeout. Back with the owner of Press 195. Talk about his Too good to be true deal for this weekend. Free French fries, our sponsor of the game. Back with him and the second half after this on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Yeah. Set me free and give me death, there ain't no other choices. When I lay down to go to sleep, I keep on hearing voices. Little whispers in my head, man, is you fake or loyal? Why no water, that designer, baby, pick your poison. These little demons living underneath my bed, creeping. Know the real monster lives above them all, sleeping. That subtle breathing in your closet every single evening. Thought you never see me again, looks can be deceiving. When they hear the sound of the drum, they'll be saying, oh Lord, here they come. Yeah, here we come. Here we come. Here we come. Here we come. And when you hear the sound of the drum, we'll be saying, here we come. Yeah, here we come. Hey, here we come. Here we come. Here we come. Yeah, here we come. Hey, here we come. Hey, here we come. Here we come.
And welcome back to Varsity Media Sports Network. Friday night football here from Southside. Our score at halftime is 28-7. Joining us right now at the half is John Anacino, the owner of Press 195, one of the local establishments here in Rockville Center. First of all, John, thanks for joining us and for sponsoring our game tonight. Tell the folks about this unbelievable offer for the weekend. We're pretty excited about it.
We're excited about the new season. First opening night, first weekend, we're offering free Belgian fries at our Rockville Center location, right in the heart of town. Yeah, we're excited to be here. About 10 years in the neighborhood, and the team looks great.
Let's bring up the graphic one more time if we can, Chris. Let's bring up the graphic that shows everybody. There you go, located at 22 North Park Avenue in Rockville Center. So here's the deal, John. Tell me if I'm wrong on this. All they have to do is screenshot this graphic. Do I have that right?
Yes, screenshot this graphic right here, and all weekend long, free Belgian fries.
So tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday, come in, take a picture with your phone, and they'll be able to get free French fries.
Deal of a lifetime, guys.
Deal of a lifetime.
Best
Tell us what else you got going there at Press 195.
We just did a little expansion project. We have an awesome bar, community area. Watch all the sports games. Have a great 2 party rooms. One holds up to 85, the other up to 50. Great neighborhood spot. Simple, easy, homemade. It's going to be delicious.
And tell everybody your hours. What time you're open till? What time do you close?
We are open 11:30 a.m. till 10 p.m. We stay open a little later in the weekends. Till kitchen's open till 11, so come on down after the game.
Well, there you go. John Anacino. Again, we thank him for sponsoring the game. Press 195, the restaurant group. Again, located at 22 North Park Avenue, right here in Rockville Center. You screenshot this ad. Free Belgian French. What are Belgian French fries, by the way?
It's just the style they're cooked in. They're not coming from
Sounds
Belgium.
delicious.
I expect to see you after the game.
And we're going to be there, and I'm sure a lot of folks watching this game and in the community will join you as well all weekend long. Thanks again for the sponsorship. Our score at halftime, it's 28-7. The Southside Cyclones over the Lawrence Tornadoes. We're back with the second half after this on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Interested in sponsoring a live stream broadcast? Varsity Media Streams offer tremendous visibility for your business. Contact us today at 866-577-1950 for rates and packages. Interested in sponsoring a live stream broadcast? Varsity Media Streams offer tremendous visibility for your business. Contact us today at 866-577-1950 for rates and packages. Interested in sponsoring a live stream broadcast? Varsity Media Streams offer tremendous visibility for your business. Contact us today at 866-577-1950 for rates and packages. Interested in sponsoring a live stream broadcast? Varsity Media Streams offer tremendous visibility for your business. Contact us today at 866-577-1950 for rates and packages. Interested in sponsoring a live stream broadcast? Varsity Media Streams offer tremendous visibility for your business. Contact us today at 866-577-1950 for rates and packages.
Welcome back. It is the start of the third quarter. It is Ben Turchin, Mike Spina along the way with you, and we appreciate you joining us here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Friday night football under the lights here week one in Conference 3 Nassau County. Our score at the start of the third quarter, the Southside Cyclones are in control 28-7 over the Lawrence Golden Tornadoes. Mike, we saw a 7-7 game early on both teams' first drives, but since then it's been all Southside with Nick Lacalzi and company, and Lawrence has a lot of work to do here in the second half.
Yes, they do. They're going to get the ball to start the second half. They hit that first play, that 80-yard touchdown pass, but since then they haven't been able to sustain anything. And I think Coach Supple went into the locker room, talked to his coaches, talked to his team, and basically said, you need to continue to sustain these drives. Let's put something together. Let's get something positive out of this first drive and move forward. A lot of Lawrence's issues in the first half were through special teams and field position. They never really got a chance to get good field position. They were always starting inside their 20.
That's a big point, and we'll see if it changes here in the second half. The lights are on, and we're ready for action here in the second half of the game. McNicholas with the kick, fielded by Pat Cave out to the 30-yard line, and that's where Lawrence will get going. So a little bit better, Mike. Not, I would say 10 yards better on average at the 30.
I would take that any day. I mean, again, he was booming the ball in the first half, and he looked like he either tried to pooch that or he just mishit that. But, again, good field position. Let's see what their philosophy is going to be coming out in the second half. You know Southside's going to try to lay the hammer down early, and then hopefully they can coast and get some players in the game on the first Friday night football game of the 2019 season.
There we go. As Lawrence comes out on offense, and the Southside defense is set. There you see number 21, Nick Lazito, another junior here for Southside. Cornerback, Matt Lazito, number 21. Haven't called his name yet. There's a pitch, and it's a fumble. Lawrence gets the ball. Good thing they came away with it.
Yeah, that was just a bad pitch. They were coming out trying to run a weak side option, and that didn't look good right from the very start. There was a bad relationship between the quarterback and the tailback on that. He threw the ball too far behind him. That's not the way you want to start. You get good field position, and on the first play you lose 10 yards. Now you're stuck in a 2nd and 20, and you know right now Southside's got their ears pinned back. They're coming after him right now.
2nd and 20. Abacassis looking near side. Pass is complete, and Lacalzi will bring the receiver down. Looks like the catch was made by Kanye Robinson. It's the first time that we're calling Kanye Robinson's name. And Kanye's a kid that Coach Supple has said, Mike, he's been improving all summer long. He's a kid that's dedicated. He's been to every practice all summer long. He's been in the weight room. He's dedicated to getting better. Can't always say that about every kid in the offseason program, but with Robinson, that's a guy that you can say that about.
Now, what's interesting is the first 2 plays, they didn't go to Walker. So it looks like maybe they're trying to get some other people involved in the game. Again,
here's a wide open receiver, and it's dropped in the middle of the field. That would have been enough for a first down and a big play. Kanye Robinson, we just brought up his name, and he drops the ball.
Beautiful pattern. He ran a great post route. He used a double move. Would have had more than enough for a first down. Unfortunately, he dropped the ball. Again, it happens, all right? But I like the fact that they're trying to get other people involved in the game right now. It looks like that's the philosophy of Coach Supple, is to see who else can step up. We just can't rely on Anquan Walker, for the whole year, because he'll never make it.
Well, it's interesting. He's been their best playmaker today, but they didn't use him at all in that series. It's going to bring up a 4th down, and now the Tornadoes will have to punt here on their first series in the second half. Wong's punt is a good one. It splits both return men, takes a Lawrence bounce to about the 30. Brewster's going to come away, field it for a couple of yards, and brought down at the 38-yard line. It looks like the tackle was made by Hugo Ratana for Lawrence, and that's where Southside will go to work.
That was a good 44-yard punt with a 6-yard return. But again, look at the field position right now. Southside starting at the 38-yard line. Their average field position has been the 36, 37-yard line the whole first half. And coming in the second half, they get a 3 and out. And where do they start? 38-yard line.
We should tell you at halftime, Southside honored the 1979 county championship team for the 40th anniversary. Rich Caproni was the head coach, and Mikey came up from South Carolina for this one. Caproni's last year coaching was Phil Onesto's first in high school. So a little symmetry there.
Little symmetry, and that's got to be a great feeling for both parties.
40 years ago, a championship. Will it happen again in 2019 for the Cyclones? It will if Nick Lacazzi has anything to say about it on the carry up for a couple of yards. It'll bring up 2nd and about 6.
Yes, and they came out with Richie Patron just on a little ISO play coming out in the eye right now. Now they're huddling up. Looks like they're going at a little bit of a slower pace right now. So my assumption that Coach Ernesto knows that he's got this game in hand a little bit. He's going to get some people a rest, give some other people some carries. He wants to see what he's got besides, his stars.
And that is Patron, my mistake. Good penetration off the handoff. Patron somehow came away with the ball. Nice job on the give and the carry, because John Jude Considine, Mike, somehow got the ball out of his hands to Patron. That could have been a fumble Lawrence ball.
Ooh, Yuri Martinez just shot the gap, and he almost took that handoff. And that's a great job by the Southside's quarterback, keeping his poise. I'll tell you right now, listen, Mr. Pickett, he's a hell of a player, all right? This team is surviving without him right now because they have a lot of pieces to this puzzle. Right back into the Wildcat right now, empty set.
2 men in motion. And it doesn't look like they know which way to set, so we will get the flag. You knew that was going to come.
Yeah,
now it's 2 flags now. We might get 2 different penalties. Lacazzi will take this to the house, but this is coming back. No 2 ways around that. So that will not be a touchdown, Mike. It just looked like number 1, Maurice Reed, didn't know how to set.
No, and he's getting an earful from Coach Ernesto right now. He was all confused. 2 guys were in motion. I thought they were going to throw the flag before they actually did, and then he just wasn't set. And, again, they had exactly what they want. They had the numbers on the outside. They had the formation that they wanted where they were going to outnumber Lawrence, and it's all for naught. So you have an illegal shift. So instead of 3rd down and 4, you're going to have 3rd down and 9.
Yeah, that's a big penalty on a 3rd down to back them up. And here's a chance for Lawrence to make a defensive stop and get the ball back as we approach 8:30 in the 3rd quarter. Mike, you like some of the players up front for Lawrence. You like Manara, who's about to come off the field. But some of the guys up front for Lawrence, like Josiah Reed and company, they've done a nice job with some pressure.
They have. They've done a good job inside. It's on the outside where they're having problems. And the guys on the outside are all your first-year players. Now, interesting that we called the illegal shift. That penalty was declined. There was another flag on the far side where they called a block in the back, which is 10 yards instead of the 5 yards, and it's from the spot of the foul. So instead of 3rd down and 9, you're now looking at 3rd down and 14.
That's a big accepted penalty. Coach Supple making the right call there, the obvious decision. And this is interesting. As we mentioned, Manara, one of the best defensive players, David Manara, he's out on this play. I think they're going with some extra secondary players, Mike.
Yeah, they're going to an odd front. They're putting a man on the nose. They're going to a 3-4 or a 3-5 defense right now. It's a prevent type of defense.
They're obviously anticipating
double pass.
And
that was going to be a double pass.
Brewster with the catch, but there's Josiah Reed, number 42. We talked about prospect New York State players to watch in this game. Josiah Reed, 42. He's been everywhere around the football.
Yes, he has. And you see somebody coming up.
Richie Patrone.
He's not even getting up right now. I don't know if it's a cramp. He just bounced back up. But that was a design double pass from what I saw, because the receiver did a stop, a stalk, and then all of a sudden he took off downfield. If it wasn't, then he did a bad job blocking. But if that was a double pass, Lawrence played it well up front, but something to look at for the next couple of weeks if you're a team scouting them.
Patrone limping off the field. You hate to see that. Just getting an opportunity with a couple of carries here to start the 3rd quarter. And a nice stop by Lawrence. Southside is going to punt the ball. I think this might be their 2nd punt of the day. Mark Weber, number 12. Here's some pressure, gets it off. And this will be returned by Lawrence. There's Walker, spin move, carrying defenders out to the 40-yard line. Talk about field position. This is their best of the game so far, and they'll have the ball. 7:46 to go in the 3rd quarter. Our score remains 28-7 on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
That was a great spin move right there. He made something out of nothing. One spin move made a 15-yard punt return.
Take a timeout. Back with more after this. Lawrence from the 38-yard line. Abacassis, Walker, cutting, making defenders miss to the 42-yard line. About 4-yard gain should bring up 2nd and 6. So there's Walker. We didn't see Walker get the ball on the first series to open up the half, but right away they go back to him.
They go right back. Listen, they know Walker's their bread and butter. Listen, if you're Lawrence, it's a long season. You're an 8 seed. This is not a game you're supposed to win. This is a game on paper you're supposed to lose. You got to find out who else is going to be able to help him and help your team for the whole year.
Again, shotgun formation. They've had some trouble on the gives. This is Cave. He's a track guy, has speed, but Lacalzi won't let him get to the outside. Now they're going to call a foul on that. Not sure what the penalty was.
I'm not sure either. He had him by the back of the shirt. It wasn't in a horse collar.
It was not. It was not a horse collar. So if they try that, that is going to be a really bad call against Southside.
He's shaking his head. It looks like they were going to walk over to the Lawrence side.
Have not seen the official ruling yet. We're going to get a hold on Lawrence here. Wow.
Well, hold on the receiver.
We missed the hold.
We missed it.
And that'll back Lawrence up.
And again, that play did not look good from the start. The timing is off. The mesh is off on a jet sweep. On a jet sweep, you want to be in stride, full speed when you get the ball. He was almost stopping, hesitating, throwing the timing off of the play, and that's probably why you got the hold.
So it'll bring up 2nd and 18 after the penalty. Now, we know Abacassis has an arm. We've seen him hook up with Walker in this game. So 2nd and 18, it's not too much for Lawrence here. They can convert. We just have to see them get it done.
Well, where's Walker now? Walker's on the top of the screen. He's slot.
Coming at you right now.
Moving in a little bit, so I'm assuming that there's going to be something outside.
And another fumble on the snap. Lawrence has had trouble with that all game long, and now it comes back to bite him even worse because now you back them up and a loss of down, Mike.
Yeah, and that's on the quarterback. That's on Constantine. He just missed it. He's looking. His eyes are getting a little wider and wider and looking at the rush, and they know the score. They know the situation.
Right.
So he sees the rush. He's trying to make a play. They're not quitting. They're playing hard. They're trying. It's just like I said. Sometimes when you see a score like this, it's natural to sit there and let up a little bit.
Would you go under center, seeing all these issues with the snaps? Would you line them up under center?
If they've never done it, no. This is your offense.
All right, Abacassis. Oh, he's going to go down. Big sack there by the front line of Southside. And let's see who came up with the sack. 44.
Dan Brown. Dan Brown.
Give credit for Brown coming up with the sack. And now Lawrence is really backed up. So, Mike, they had a nice start with Walker on a gain of 4 yards on first down, and then they just went backwards.
Yes, they did. And right now they're coming off and on and off the field a little bit slower than the beginning of the game. They're fighting. They're just not as experienced as this Southside team. This Southside team is good. They're good. You can see the experience, and they're not playing the cleanest game either. When they clean things up, they're going to be a very tough team to beat towards the end of the year.
LaCalzi with running room. He's dangerous in an open field. Goes on the left side, and he's wrestled down inside the 27-yard line. Hugo Ratana with the tackle, but they are set up inside the 20 offensively now.
Now, you call that a tackle. I call that a catch. Okay, Hugo did a good job saving a touchdown. He took him on. He took him on high. He got run over. Saved the touchdown. But he got trucked a little bit on that.
So now Southside will go to work offensively here in the third quarter, looking to put another touchdown up on the board. Keep an eye on 33, Nick LaCalzi, already with 3 touchdowns in the game, all coming in the first half. And it is 33 under center.
Going back to the same play they scored the touchdown on, that got called back.
Patron was in motion. Good to see he's back on the field. And there's Reed, holds him up for a second, but he just trucks through. LaCalzi, it's like, Mike, once you make initial contact with him, he's still going to get 2-3 yards.
Yeah, you got to tackle him low. I mean, Lawrence, unfortunately, is tackling way too high tonight. And when you get backs of this quality, backs that are this big and run as hard as the Southside running backs do, if you're going to tackle high all game, you're just going to get physically beaten up. And you can see that he's running through arm tackles. They'll get it. There's no doubt that they'll get it. It's just not going to be tonight.
2nd and 6 from the 17. Brewster and LaCalzi. And here's a high snap that LaCalzi gets, but pressure in the backfield. And we'll have a sack here. Good job by Lawrence. And let's see who was in on the sack. That was number 9 for the Golden Tornadoes, Jose Antaporta. Only 5'6", 175, the senior, getting a sack.
Yes, and it was again part of the middle line. But the play started with a snap that was over his head. The timing is off tonight for Southside. And again, new quarterback. They probably had to put this offense in, during the week. It's dangerous. It's not clean yet.
Considine back and shotgun, looking deep down the field, man open, overthrown. Looked like Patron was his intended receiver, number 20.
Ran a smash route on the bottom of the screen. Outside guy does a curl or a hitch. inside slot, runs a post flag, wide open, just overthrew him.
So that brings up a 4th and 1 decision time here. Looks like they
Field goal.
will bring the field goal kicker out, McNicholas, to try what will be a 32. He missed from 37 in the second quarter. What do you got there?
37.
37, you're right. My mistake, a 37. So it gets another crack at a 37-yard field goal. Snap is down clean.
There's going to be a flag for running into the kicker.
And it is incomplete.
But they ran into him, so that will be a personal foul.
Either way will be enough because it was 4th and 1.
No, 4th and 11, and it will be an automatic first down.
So another mistake by Lawrence.
Young team, inexperienced team, playing hard. Just a victim of themselves playing too hard sometimes. Would have been a good defensive stand. He might have called it running in.
Either way, it should be enough for the first. No, you say no.
I'm not saying no. I'm just waiting on a call. They have the sticks all wrong. It should be 4th down and 5. It was running into the kicker, not roughing the kicker. So it's a 5-yard running into the kicker. So it's 4th down.
But they're gonna take the kicker off the field.
Yes.
They're gonna go for it here on 4th and call it 6 or 7. So here's an opportunity for the Tornadoes. Make a stop, get the ball back on 4th and 7 with 3:30 to go here in the third quarter. Considine, shotgun, rolling out, looking downfield, looking for the end zone, overthrew an open receiver. That was number 15, Gilden Smith, the senior, who's in the back of the end zone, open and just out of his hands for a touchdown.
Yeah, they ran a dash ladder, and he had him open, just overthrew him again. Little inexperience. Not a bad ball.
A good throw, I got to tell you. Constantine has an arm and just a little high, but that was a good-looking throw. Give him a lot of credit today. One of the things that Coach Onesto told us during the week is he just wanted his quarterback, John Jude, to manage the game, Mike, not make mistakes, manage the game, and he has done that tonight.
He's done more than manage the game. He's done a great job in his first start. You know, it's tough when you tell a kid, hey,
right,
you know, you're the backup, you're going into the year, summer, preseason, scrimmages, and then all of a sudden something happens, and you're like, hey, by the way, the ball's in your hands. You know, it's a great story, and he should go down as 1-0 today when this game is over, feeling good about himself.
And if you're late to the game wondering why he is in, coach's decision today, William Pickett, the starting senior quarterback, not playing. Here's Walker. Walker has some open room, making defenders miss. It's a first down out to the 32-yard line. And I don't know if you agree with this, but Mike, I'd be moving a little faster than Lawrence seems to be right now. Would you put a little no huddle action in? Do they practice that for week 1?
Well, I told you in the first half I liked when they played fast, and I love the screen call on first down. Southside knows that they got to throw the ball to get back into the game. So they're coming with, 6-7 man blitz, throw a screen, 12-yard game.
Well, Lawrence does not really show that they are in any hurry right now. Walker on the left side, he's going to lose yards on that.
Yes, he did, and he actually looked like he came up a little bit lame on that. Again, remember Walker was out of the game in the first half with cramps. Now he's coming back in.
Jack Temple with the penetration there for Southside, the junior, number 55 at 6'1", 195. Give him credit on making the play there. So it's second and call it 13 now. Lawrence continues to go backwards here on their offensive sets. They need to put some points on the board. In the shotgun, Abikasis evades pressure, has a man open, and incomplete. Milkazi was there quickly to close, but he did have a receiver, and that was number 3, Kanye Robinson.
And he's coming up a little bit slow again. He got hurt. It looks like he's grabbing his wrist. Now, you talked about should they be moving faster?
Yeah.
If the coaching staff doesn't believe that they're going to score more than 28 points, this is the pace you want. You want the clock going. You want to get something positive out of this, but you don't want to sit there and get your kids embarrassed. And if you don't think you're going to sit there and outscore them and stop them every time, you want to get something positive out of this half. First, it starts with a first down. It starts with a positive play.
3rd and 12. They're capable of picking this up. They've had some explosive plays today. Going out to the flat, Robinson, big catch there, but met immediately by T.J. Mahar. We have mentioned Mahar's name quite a bit today. Only a sophomore, playing linebacker, playing defensive end. He has a nose for the ball on the defensive side for Southside, number 11, Mike, and we could see why.
Yeah, he read that bubble screen really well. What Southside is, they're doing a great job. What Lawrence is missing is that deep threat. I know they went 80 yards on the first play, and it was Walker. But they're missing that deep threat right now, so Southside knows that. So they're pinching everything. The cushion that they're giving the receivers is minimal, and they're just teeing off. That's why I said you're better off playing a little bit slower right now. Let the clock go. It's a long season. You got to get ready for week 2. I know it sounds like a quitter's mentality, but as a head coach, you got to make sure that you're ready for the whole season, not just for one game.
Eric Wong got a quick punt away, but it wasn't very long. It's fielded at the 40-yard line, so only a net of 12 yards, Mike. Lawrence needed more than that, so the theme of the night has been where Southside starts with the football on offense, and yet again, great field position at the 40 to start this series with 1:44 to go in the 3rd. Let's take a timeout. Back with more after this on the Varsity Media Sports Network. After the quick timeout and the change of possession, 1:44 to go in the 3rd. It's Southside now on offense. They go to work. LaCalzi, plenty of room. He might go. He might take this. Breaking tackles. And finally upended inside the 10-yard line by Lawrence. When he gets a full head of steam, Mike, you better watch out. Pat Cave brings him down, but not before a big gain.
Nah, he's a beast. He's tough to stop. And again, the Lawrence guys are starting to just arm tackle right now. They're starting to go high. You could see that it's not a defeated attitude, but you could see right now at this point, they're almost done. Southside knows the score. Southside knows that they can score almost on any drive. At this point, I would say that he's going to get one more touchdown, a couple more carries, and then you might not see him for the rest of the game at running back.
Yeah, you would expect not to in the 4th quarter. He had 12 touchdowns last year, already 3 today. And this is a carry up the middle and breaking for the end zone and scoring the touchdown, Matt Milconian, the junior running back, getting his first carry of the game, and it's good for a 10-yard touchdown.
Yeah, that was just a simple inside zone. The offensive line did a great job locking on and getting to the next level.
Get another look at that here coming up in a second. Matt Milconian here. As McNichols comes on for the extra point to make it 35-7. Southside has been in control the entire game today. There's the extra point. That is good. 5 for 5 on extra points is McNicholas. As we give you a look here at the touchdown.
Just a simple zone left.
Nice cutback. And
actually,
tackles.
What a great block by number 73. I mean, they pulled the right guard on that, Michael Gibney, with a crushing block to open that up.
35-7's our score here. 49 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. A timeout. We're back with more after this on the Varsity Media Sports Network. And we are back here as Southside is kicking off to Lawrence. We've got about 49 seconds in the 3rd quarter. Lawrence, Mike, hasn't really been able to engineer a drive, really since the first quarter. They seem to be going backwards, so we'll see if Coach Supple has made some adjustments here.
They keep hurting themselves with either a penalty or a loss, and there we go. Back into the end zone. There's the weapon. Ball's at the 20.
TJ McNicholas, what a job he's done today on kickoffs and extra points. Take this opportunity to tell you about our game coming up tomorrow at Floral Park High School. Mike knows a little bit about Floral Park, was the former head coach there, and you can attest to this. When these two teams play, North Shore and Floral, you've been involved in some crazy games when North Shore and Floral Park get together. Tomorrow, it's our doubleheader game, week 1, a Saturday 2 o'clock affair. The Vikings go to Floral Park and throw the records out when these two teams play, right, Mike?
It doesn't matter. It's going to be who can get the ball last. I mean, I was involved in probably one of the craziest games ever in my head coaching experience, which is over 23 years. We beat them 57-54. It was 35-35 at half. Nobody could stop anybody except on the last 2 possessions. It was a fumble and an interception. But, yes, 2 great coaching staffs, a lot of great athletes. Very excited to see that game.
That's tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Gavin Shaw will have the call for Varsity Media tomorrow. And that is a 2 o'clock start right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. You could find it here at youtube.com/Varsity Media as we take the live stream to Floral Park, the home of the horses, as they say, right?
Right across from Belmont. You know which way the wind's blowing by the smell.
That is for sure. 2nd and 5 after the carry. And once again, the give is to Wong. And a nice tackle. Fumble. And they blow the whistle dead. T.J. Mahar with another tackle in the backfield. And we cannot mention his name enough. And I'll tell you something about Mahar. This is a kid that played JV last year as a freshman. Coach Onesto knew, watching game film and watching them play, that he was going to be a player. He spotted him at JV, and his eyes didn't steer him wrong.
Well, he's 6 foot 175. He doesn't have a sophomore body.
No.
He doesn't move like a sophomore. He doesn't read his position like a sophomore. He plays like a junior or a senior. And that is the end of the quarter.
That is the end of the quarter here. Our score 35-7. Southside with the commanding lead. We'll take a timeout. We're back with the 4th quarter after this on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Fourth quarter moments away from starting. It's Ben Turchin and Mike Spina with you here on the Varsity Media Sports Network, and we thank you for joining us today for some Conference 3 football in Nassau County. Mike, let's look ahead to next week as we assume Southside will improve to 1-0 on the season. They got a tough game next week at Roosevelt, so that's gonna get an idea of where they stand this season in Conference 3 on the road against Roosevelt. That's never an easy game.
No, that's a tough place to play. Coach Vito and his staff always do a great job with what they have. Not sure what they have this year. I heard their numbers were a little light, but you have kids walking around that town in that school that are just tremendous athletes.
Right.
Coach Vito, he's like a father to all those kids. I've never seen a more dedicated football coach around on a high school level. He puts his heart and soul into that program. Those kids are his life. And I got to tell you, I have all the respect for him for what he does, how much he gives into that program, what he does for Nassau County. And it's going to be a very interesting matchup. It's a measuring stick for Southside.
No two ways around it. Lawrence, a tough start to the season on the road 2 weeks in a row. Next week, they go to Hewlett, a Saturday 2 o'clock affair. They'll most likely be 0-1, so they'll need a big win next week at Hewlett in order to keep playoff hopes alive here in the 2019 campaign. Another punt by Eric Wong. Southside not able to return that. Let's remind our watching audience or viewing audience again of our sponsor today, Press 195. We thank them for sponsoring today's game, and they have an unbelievable offer in case you missed it in the first half or at halftime. If you screenshot this image right here on your phone and head to Press 195, the Sandwich Panini Shop at 22 North Park Avenue in Rockville Center, screenshot this ad and get free Belgian French fries all weekend long. That's tonight after the game. That's all day tomorrow and again on Sunday. It's an offer too good to believe. We thank Press 195 for their sponsorship of tonight's Friday Night Football live stream broadcast right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
All right.
1st and 10. And a give right back to number 24, Matt Milconian picks up right where he left off after the touchdown with a nice gain, Mike.
Sure, that's his second carry. Now, as expected, both teams are starting to empty their bench a little bit. You know the game is over on the scoreboard, so both teams are going to start playing their seconds. Guys that have been, running the scout teams all week. Now it's their time to play under the lights in front of a nice crowd. Nobody wants to get anybody hurt. I don't think you're going to see the ball in the air too much from either team. Definitely Southside. I think Coach Ernesto is going to run the ball, give a couple guys carries, let them get their feet wet. You never know when your name's going to be called. Run the clock as much as they can and get out of here 1-0 and get ready for next week.
10:30 to go in the fourth quarter. Considine still in the game. The give up the middle to Reed. Reed making defenders miss inside the 30, brought down at about the 28-yard line. You had mentioned before Michael Gibney, number 73, all the way downfield with Reed with the blocking, having a great game today.
Oh, he's absolutely having a great game. His motor just keeps going. He pulls, he traps, and he stays on his blocks. Not the tallest of kids, but he's strong.
Southside really man on a mission this year with the 2 seed. Now, they lost to Wantagh in the semifinals, and a lot of these kids are back, and they want to do a little better than that. They have aspirations of a county championship. Milconian met in the backfield. 2 Lawrence defenders this time all over him. Looks like David Manara, one of the captains, number 74, in on the tackle. And number 9, Jose Antiporta for Lawrence, doing a nice job with that penetration.
Yeah, he made the initial contact, but again, a little high. He was pulling his shirt, waiting for help. Both teams moving at a much slower pace than what started.
Yeah, we had a very fast, action-packed first couple of series, and we thought maybe we're going to get a 60-50 game. And it slowed down a lot since the first quarter.
Great adjustments by Southside's coaching staff.
Milconian again, and he is seeing the bulk of the carries here, the junior. So I think that's it for Localzi. Probably a smart decision. You don't want him to get hurt here in the first game of the season. And he had well over 100 yards today the way he ran.
Oh, he had at least 3 touchdowns, over 100 yards.
Yep.
He will not see the field. If on my team, he would not see the field again.
Right. Got to save him for the big game next week against. And you know what? You could attest to this too. It's the adage in Nassau County in Conference 3. There's no week off. There's no easy game. Every week you got to bring it. So that Roosevelt's going to be a tough game next week too.
Oh, absolutely. Even the teams towards the bottom. You might be more talented than those teams on the bottom.
Right.
But those teams are going to hit you. Those teams are going to make you earn a victory. Now, they might win, like, for example, 35-7. Is Lawrence quitting? No. Is Lawrence coming to play? Do they have athletes? Do they have size? Are they giving up? No. There's no week off. If you fall asleep, you will get beat.
They will play Plain Edge. They will play Wantagh. They will play Bethpage. They will play Roosevelt, like we said. So here's another thing. When you come in as the 11 seed a year ago, you don't have that as tough of a schedule. Now you got the 2 seed. You're going to play everybody below you. You're going to play the 1, the 3, the 4. That's who you get.
There's no weeks off.
High snap. Constantine brings it down, and it's a QB sneak, but a good job by Lawrence. Met him right away. Nothing doing there. Might bring up a 4th down.
No, that was 4th down. It's now going to be 1st down for Lawrence. Good
Oh,
job
so
by the
Southside
Lawrence
went for it.
defense. Good job. They came out here. Listen, they know they're running the ball. They're not coming out in any kind of spread. You're not seeing empties anymore. You're just seeing straight-ahead zone plays right now. So both coaches right now are looking for this clock to move a little bit, to regroup, watch some film, give the kids a day off tomorrow, go watch somebody that you might be playing, scout a little bit, and then you get back to work.
Let's take a look at our Prospect New York State watch list for Southside. Let's talk about some of these kids that Prospect New York State had eyes on today. Nick Lukowski, we'll start with him, Mike. What a job he had today. We talked about over 100 yards, 3 touchdowns. Xavier Brewster, the senior wide receiver, number 30, was all over the field. You know, Richie Petrone was banged up a little bit, got some action, got a little bit hurt, but we've mentioned his name before. These are 3 studs that any college would be fortunate enough to have next year.
And the missing part,
William Pickett, who they will get back next week.
which would push Brewster to his original spot, which
Right.
would be a wide receiver,
Right.
which he was forced to play a little bit in the backfield today in the Wildcat. So that just adds another dimension
Sure.
to this team.
And here's something else. Roosevelt can't scout Pickett because he didn't play today.
No.
They can't. They don't know what they're going to get next week. I mean, he played last year, but he's obviously bigger, stronger, faster, better a year later. So that's an advantage for Phil Onesto.
No advantage.
You don't think so?
They know who he is. He's a player to watch.
And Idris Carter, the quarterback for Roosevelt, the player to watch in that game next week as well.
Should be a very interesting game.
Got a couple other games going on in Conference 3 tonight. You had mentioned Plain Edge is up on Mineola. Mineola new to Conference 3 this year, coming up from Conference 4. And Plain Edge is opening up the season at home. And also Wantagh ahead of Valley Stream North today. So, you know, the top seeds are doing what they're supposed to do.
Right. The way the schedule is geared with a 14-team conference, the better seeds are playing their lowest seeds week 1. They'll get head-to-head soon.
Absolutely. 7 minutes to go here. Abacassis downfield, and that one is brought in. Nice catch. Looked like it was Walker. He takes it out to the 25-yard line. Correction.
Nope.
Pat Cave, number 12, with the reception. Haven't seen too many of those today.
And that's what Coach Supple is waiting to see.
Right.
They're waiting to see that kind of a throw, that kind of a catch from somebody else.
Right.
And what was nice was he went and caught the ball over the middle. He used his hands, got the first down, moved the chains. This is what Coach Supple's looking for right now. Move the chains. Something positive to come out of today. There's a little bubble screen right now to, it looks like Walker.
That was Walker.
For a gain of 5. So obviously Coach Supple is looking to keep the chains moving, the clock moving. He is trying to score. He wants to sit there and get on that bus in about 25 minutes and say, hey, guys, we didn't quit. Guys, we worked hard. We got a lot of positives out of this, even though the score might not be positive, but we're ready to go next week.
2nd and 5 from the 40-yard line. They're going to give to Walker, but not much doing there.
And he fumbled.
He fumbled. He fumbled the ball at the 44, and it looks like Southside has the ball as number 52, Kevin Bonilla, comes up with it. And there's the official signal. Another fumble for Lawrence, and Southside will take over on offense. 6:15 to go here in the game, 35-7. Cyclones ahead. We'll take a timeout. Back with more after this on the Varsity Media Sports Network. So after the fumble by Lawrence, Southside will take over again at their Lawrence's 44-yard line, 43-yard line, let's call it, with 6:15 to go. And it'll be Constantine again, the quarterback. But I tell you what, from what I see from him today, I'd feel confident as my backup to have this guy.
Oh, absolutely.
For the rest of the season. He's done a very nice job handling the offense today for the Cyclones.
And that was Angel Torres with his first carry.
Number 35, so a lot of different guys getting some different looks here for Southside offensively. Coach Phil Onesto able to empty out the bench, which is always cool to see. Some of the younger players getting an opportunity here.
And Lawrence has just taken out their 2 big tackles, who have, regardless of the score, those 2 tackles, they played very well.
Well, you said this in the beginning, and I agree with you. Lawrence has athletes. They have kids. It's just an inexperience thing. Once the team gets some inexperience, maybe they were a year away. Who knows? Maybe they're 4 games away.
I'm going to go on the side of 3 or 4 games away, that they're only going to get better. As long as they can stay healthy, the coaching staff can keep them together. Because what can happen, and you got to remember, new coach, new coaching staff.
Right.
Everything is new right now to Lawrence.
4-minute warning by the referee, so it's 4 minutes to go. The scoreboard a little bit behind, so 4 minutes to go in the game after the warning. And I think if you're Coach Ernesto, you're looking to call off. I don't think they're looking to score anymore. The game is out of reach, but good opportunity for some experience here for the younger players.
Sure, you get some of your seniors to carry that have, that don't get too many carries. And that's Mr. Torres again. With a nice run.
Look at that, out to the 21-yard line. I'll tell you what, if you would have put 33 as his uniform, I would have thought that was Nick Licalzi, the way he was running.
Well, the same. He's pretty much the same size. They are solid. They have some really nice-looking kids. They got legs. They got arms. They're thick. They look like they've been in a weight room.
A beautiful weight room here at Southside, just state-of-the-art stuff here at this school. They've done a really nice job with the football field, turf, and everything around this facility. They got a great youth football feeder program. One of them coming out is Lazito, who plays corner. Matt Lazito, his father Bill, mother Dana, starting the program, the Rockville Center Titans. And Mike, you can attest to this because you have kids playing youth football. Anytime a town can have a feeder program like that, it only helps for the older kids coming up to play high school ball.
Absolutely, and that was a tough run by Dan Brown. I mean, he just took on 4 or 5 kids from the Lawrence defense, wouldn't go down, kept fighting for even just a 1-yard gain. And to go back on that, yes, my 8-year-old, Jake, he plays for the Massapequa Mustangs. Next week, we are at Rockville Center.
There you go.
He's going to get his first bus trip on Sunday morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, and we will be playing the Rockville Center Titans.
And the cool thing about that is the kids play on this field. So the youth football players for the Titans get the experience of playing at the high school field, and that's pretty cool.
Yes, for me it's a Baldwin weekend. We open up with Baldwin tomorrow, being one of the coaches at Massapequa, and my son's team will also be playing Baldwin on Sunday. And there he goes around the end.
Touchdown number 44, Dan Brown.
There is a flag.
There is a flag.
And I'm sure that's going to be a holding penalty right there.
I still think that's going to make his huddle highlights, though.
Absolutely.
I still think Brown will put that in his highlights.
Now, this is probably your 3rd or 4th running back
and he looks
on the depth chart.
And he looks pretty good.
He's 6'1", 215 pounds. Looks like he probably runs about a 4.7, strong as an ox, and he's probably the 4th running back on this team.
They're loaded.
They're loaded.
They're loaded. They got
next man up if somebody gets hurt.
And let me tell you something, folks, about Conference 3. They got the 2 seed. Plain Edge went undefeated last year until they got to the LIC. They're returning Dan Villari. They're the 1 seed. So, I mean, that just tells you, look at this team. They're that good. That tells you how good Plain Edge is.
Plain Edge is very good. I saw them firsthand last week.
One of the best teams on Long Island.
They are going to be one of the best teams. They don't have a weak link.
Brown, left side. Sorry, this is Bonilla. Torres, left side, 35.
Bumbling, stumbling.
Yeah, to the 5.
Running people over.
But my point on that is, as good as this Southside team looks, people might think, how are they not a 1 seed? Well, it just goes to show you how good the 1 seed is going to be this year.
Plain Edge is legit. They're not just Villari. They got Pepe. They got Lombardi. They got an offensive line that wrestles. Coach Shaver does a great job. He's got a great coaching staff. Not a good one, a great coaching staff with him. They are going to be loaded all year.
They're playing Mineola today. They have a lead in that game, a big lead in that game. Expected to go 1-0, and they will play Southside October 25th weekend.
Now, here's a class move by Coach Ernesto.
Yes.
He could score easily. He could get a kid the ball who probably hasn't scored in his career down at the 7-yard line, and he does the classy thing. He takes a knee. Okay? Kudos to him.
That's going to do it for us, folks, as the clock winds down here. This will be our final score, though. 35-7. A well-played game by Southside. They are ready. They are here to show you what their season is going to look like this year. On the road to Roosevelt, they will play Plainheads. They will play a tougher schedule. But, Mike, you got to like what you see here from the Cyclones.
Oh, absolutely. I'm expecting them to be a Final Four team and maybe even a
Finals team.
Nassau County final team.
Could we see Plainhead Southside in the finals? But Wansbro's going to have something to say about that.
Absolutely.
Roosevelt's going to have something to say about that. But we're off to a good start here in Conference 3. Kickoff final score 35-7 is our final. We want to remind you for tomorrow, we've got a doubleheader broadcast tonight and now tomorrow at Floral Park, another Conference 3 showdown, Week 1, between the Knights and the North Shore Vikings. That's a 2 o'clock start right here on youtube.com/varsity media. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Mike, pleasure as always. We thank you for joining our broadcast. We wish you good luck tomorrow as Massapequa opens up at 2 o'clock. Any final thoughts on this game?
This just a well-played game by Southside. I think they're a solid team. I think they have to clean things up a little bit on the offense right now, even though they scored 35 points. I'm looking forward to seeing what Lawrence does and Coach Supple and his staff, because I know the score doesn't look positive. But I think that there are some positives that you can take out of this game. And they're not going to be a pushover for too many teams. I think if they get it right, whether it's 3 games, 4 games, or a year, Lawrence will get back to Lawrence football.
We'll keep an eye on all these teams. We'll keep an eye on Southside throughout the course of the season and Lawrence. And we'll see you tomorrow again. Final score from here, 35-7, Southside 1-0, Lawrence 0-1. Tomorrow we're at Floral Park. Gavin Shaw will have the call from the Knight Stadium taking on North Shore. Thank you for joining us tonight. For Mike Spina, I'm Ben Turchin. On behalf of our staff, have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow on the Varsity Media Sports Network.